And we are live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching and/or listening to ABL Live. Thank y'all for joining me tonight. You could be almost anywhere in the world, but you're right here with me live on the show, and I appreciate y'all for that. We got a whole lot going on all over the internet, all over mainstream media, social media, everywhere, and I don't know where to start. First of all, we got more New York City migrant drama. Of course, we have an illegal alien shooting not one but two officers. Luckily, they will make it, but this guy should be out of the country immediately. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, 50 Cent, 50, aka Ferrari F50, the rapper, went to the White House, spoke to quite a few people, including Lauren Boebert and a few other people. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, the Zoom court license fiasco kerfuffle has yet another wrinkle beyond the update that I posted. There's another situation going on with that. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, Sleepy Creepy Joe is obviously going through some issues, some cognitive challenges that everybody can see. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, Caitlin Clark, this is going to be a hot topic that's been discussed for quite a while. Is it racism? Is it jealousy? Is it all the above? We'll talk about all those things and more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And thank y'all again for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all of that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. We got a whole lot going on. There's a whole lot happening. Oh man, that story with the guy in Michigan with the suspended license, there's a lot to that. There was the first story that went viral, then there was an update, and now there's another update from the judge. This thing is the gift that keeps on giving. We're going to get to all that in just a minute, but again, shout out to you guys for joining. You guys are the best anywhere. We're going to get to all those things in a little bit, but y'all know the drill. Shout out to you guys for being the first sponsors of the show. I could not do the show without you, but shout out to the other sponsors of the channel. We have PatriotPost.us, your best source of news and information anywhere on these interwebs. Their link, as always, will be in the box. Or just go to them directly through your browser, patriotpost.us. Tell them that ABL sent you. Also, shout out to my merch website, ablmerch.com. That is ablmerch.com. We got the hats, t-shirts, stickers, hoodies, mugs, and more right there on the website, ablmerch.com. Also, shout out to my regular website, anthonyblogan.com. That is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. If you go to the front page of the website, you'll be able to find articles for each video that I produce. And in each article, I have sources from the left, from the right, from local, national, international, whatever you want. I got it right there on the website front page, AnthonyBLogan.com. Full videos, sources, whatever you want, as long as it's legal, I will post it on the website. Even if it can't go on the YouTubes because they can't control the website, that's 100% my platform, and they can't get in the way of that. They might want to try to silence me, just like when my article about C-19, which has been proven to be 100% factual 4 years later, just like when that went viral and broke the whole server, they did not take me off. They gave me the hookup. They let me rock. They let me live. Unlike a lot of the social media platforms who were caving to whatever the federales did. All right. Is my mic hot? My mic shouldn't be hot. My mic should be good. Let me just check to make sure I'm straight. Now, somebody says my mic is hot. If the mic is too loud, y'all let me know. Let me just make sure that everything's good. But from what I'm looking at, it should be good money. I might just be talking loud. I've been kind of training myself to speak loud over the past few years just because, you just got to do that. Let me just make sure I'm good. But shout out to you guys for being here. I really, really appreciate y'all. Okay, my levels are good. I think I'm good. I might just be loud, and that's fine. Let's keep on rocking and rolling. We got a whole lot going on. So back to the website, anthonyblogan.com/contact to find my email address, my snail mail address, my social media accounts, my Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, never going to call it X. All those links are right there on the website, anthonyblogan.com/contact. And always, as always, if you're ever wondering if you're speaking to me or not on the internet, the best way to go about it is just to cross-reference your method of communication to the contact page. If the email address is I'm a Nigerian scammer and I'm going to scam you at 8 o'clock p.m. Nigerian time at outlook.com, that's probably not me, okay? Because my email address is contact@anthonyblogan.com. If you ever forget, my email address is always on the website. It's always the same. I've not changed it. It's been the same. No other email will reach me at all, ever. That email is all you need. I have about 10,000 email addresses, but that's the only one that you're going to be able to use. If it's anything else, it's not me. I guarantee it's not me. Okay? If the email address says I cook borscht for a living in Bulgaria somewhere and I'm laying on the ground and I weigh 100 million pounds plus a few, give or take a few, it's not me. I promise it's not me. Don't get scammed. Here's what happens before I keep on rocking and rolling here. What'll happen is one of you guys will comment on a video that I upload. Someone will reply to your comment and they may have a picture that's my picture, a name that looks like my name or my exact name. And then they'll say, hey, contact me on this number right here. Contact me now. Contact me now on this number right here and I'll give you free monies. And you send me the gift card. I return the money back to you immediately. It's not a scam. I am a legitimate person. I am really ABL. I promise it's me. It is me. I'm not a scammer. Now, I would do my Russian accent, but I'm not very good at it. I got to practice. I got to shout out to Vitaly Klitschko or somebody. You know who I really need to get? Let me get Voldemort Zelensky. Let me get him on the line to give me some Russian accent training. He's Ukrainian, same thing. Ukrainian, Russian, Belarusian, it's all the same thing. What's the difference? Okay, big Russia, little Russia, white Russia, green Russia, red Russia, it's all the same. Let me hire him to get some Russian accent training. That's what I want from Voldemort Zelensky. Then I'll be able to do the Russian accent for you guys rather than just picking on the Nigerian guys all the time. Because my it sounds like this, huh? It's like this because I don't want the monies. I don't want your monies. If you want to donate to ABL, please do it to the proper channels. Do not go the other direction. I beg you. Yeah, and the Slavic accent, right? Exactly. HP Benin. I need the Slavic accent. I need the Voldemort Zelensky, the Vladimir Putin, the Vitaly Klitschko, the if he dies, Rocky. Yeah, I need that right there. I need the Russian boogeyman accent. I need to perfect that one. Then I'll be good to go. All right. I want a Russian boogeyman. I want a Mexican cartel member, and I want the West African, Nigerian, Ghanaian, Sierra Leone, Burkina Faso. I want that accent to be down pat. But anyway, I digress. Yeah, I want the Francophone African accent, the English African. I want all of that to be going on. But yeah, shout out to you guys. Again, don't get scammed. If you ever are wondering if you're speaking to me or not, just cross-reference and know that my email is contact@anthonyblogan.com. I see these scams all the time that happen. People talking to people for months at a time, thinking that it's somebody that it's not. And then, it's kind of a sad review at the end of it. So yeah, let's just not do that. Okay. A Russian guy named Boris. Exactly. Just like in, if you ever seen The Wire, and they were talking about the guy that came in, he was like, "What's up, Boris?" He's like, "My name is not Boris." Why is it always Boris? Because why not? How many names do we have? Okay, Vladimir, Vladimitsky, Boris, Natasha, Rocky, and Bullwinkle. What's the difference? Anyway, if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okay, we got a lot going on. There's a whole lot happening. Shout out to you guys watching on the YouTube. Shout out to you guys watching on the Facebook. We're going to get into it. We are going to get into it. Let's talk about Trump. He posted something on his Truth Social. I've not seen this yet, but I want to watch it live with you guys. It looks like it might be pretty good. Let's check it out. And shout out to my man, HVM. I remember you from the last stream, and you told me what you were known as, HVM. So shout out to you, man. I rather will call you that than trying to butcher your name and tearing it to pieces. And shout out to you, Apu, as well. You got some good questions. If you want to, keep them coming. I will read those at a certain point. But shout out to you, HVM, for the super chat. I really appreciate you. We got a whole lot we're going to get into. So let's go ahead and jump straight into it. Let's get some sound and get rocking. Somebody said, what's up, ABL Ofsky? Yeah, there we go. Give me a good Slavic sounding name with a bunch of consonants. Give me like 35 consonants in my last name. Okay, like Mike Krzyzewski, when it ain't no C's in the name. Is it any C's? I don't think so. It's like a bunch of K's and Y's. But where is the C and the S at? I don't know. Anyway, let's check this out.
We have rescinded so many Trump immigration policies, it would take so much time to list them.
There have been more than 1 million migrant encounters since October 1st, when our fiscal year began. It is the earliest this milestone has ever been reached.
It's a mess that this administration created from day one.
Smugglers and cartels exploiting chaos at the border.
Agents are being removed from the line. They're having to process. They're having to do all the administrative work. And who is it that's, flourishing from this? It's the drug cartels.
Cartel gunmen stroll along the riverbank, armed with rifles. It's here where cartel gunmen have repeatedly been seen wandering through the brush after crossing into the U.S. illegally.
And it's not going to stop because this administration doesn't want it to stop.
This administration just does not care about the American people. They've shown that time and time again.
That is the U.S. side of the Rio Grande.
Look at this. Look at the U.S. side of. I mean, come on, man. They say that the border's closed. Don't come to the border. Now they're trying to come up with a deal. It's the dumbest thing in the world. They want a deal to close the border. Why would there need to be a deal when there was no issue to this magnitude before Trump was out of office and Biden came into office?
Side of the Rio Grande.
58 terrorists have crossed the southern border.
The entire world is showing up here at our doorstep. They're crossing illegally, and they are expecting to get released here into the United States. We are in the biggest crisis, border security crisis, that we've ever faced in the history of this country. Nobody has done worse on border security than President Biden. In all aspects of border security, he is clearly failing. He has no answers.
This is insane. The federal government has to wake up.
I know that 1,000 overwhelms the system. I cannot begin to imagine what 4,000 a day looks like.
So yeah, if you don't want that kind of issue to continue, if you want that to be solved, vote Trump. Because under Trump, this wasn't a problem. Under Trump, this wasn't really a thing. All right. And we all know that. We all know that for 100% certain. All right. Check it out. Now, we got quite a few people supporting Trump. They're talking about, oh, it's racist. Talk about the border because you don't want the Mexicans to come across and you hate brown people. Well, is it about Mexicans? Because a lot of these so-called migrants are not from Mexico. They're not Mexican. They're from all over the world. A lot of Chinese. That's a really big group. The Chinese are coming through in a very organized fashion. They got tutorials on TikTok how to invade the border, how to take advantage of the system, how to become an asylum seeker or whatever the case may be, how to bogart the system, coming in illegally, just showing up on the border and say, hey, come take me, or just sneaking across with all kind of drugs, guns, human trafficking, whatever they want. Okay. So it ain't them. It's the whole world coming through illegally, just in droves. And really, it's a lot of men who just want money and or those who want to commit crime. Now, speaking about Mexicans and whatnot, shout out to the Cholos, the Vatos over on the left coast, California, Los Angeles. Shout out to East LA. All right. Shout out to you guys out there. Now, check out my man right here. See what he got going on. He got something for y'all. My man right here, the Cholo out there, he got something for y'all. Check it out.
Check it out, everybody. Hey, I got something I want to show you guys. Hey, don't trip. Hey, check that out. Hey, how's that make you feel? Trump gang or don't bang? Can you see that? Hey, how's that make you feel? Are you gonna unfollow? Hey, go right ahead. I ain't tripping. Check it out. Hey.
So for you guys that can't see, you got my Mexican homie out there, California, unveiling the Trump flag, Trump 2024.
Hey, that's how we're doing it. All right, so check it out, everybody. Hey, I got something I want to show you guys. Hey, don't trip. Hey, check that out. Hey, how's that make you feel?
Hey, everybody's on the Trump train. Oh, he's racist. He hate Mexicans. Really? Really? For real? It's crazy because a lot of the people that say things like that are not even the race that is supposed to be offended. And then you talk to people that are like actually of that community, and it's not really like that. That's just how it is. So yeah, shout out to all you guys in California that support Trump, all the conservative Californians, everybody out there. I know you guys exist. It's a lot of y'all that watch my channel. You just kind of outnumbered. You just outnumbered, and it's really unfortunate. Now, we have a lot more as it relates to that. Okay, there's a whole lot more we're going to get into. Okay, before we get to Byron Donalds and whatnot. Now, here is a former Black Panther leader. Now, before I show this video, a little bit of a disclaimer. This man's grandson came out and said that he was taken advantage of and he didn't know what he was talking about, all this, that, and the third, after this particular video came out of this man supporting Donald Trump. So that's some context, but let's go ahead and watch. The caption here, former Black Panther leader Eldridge Cleaver, I'm familiar with that name, yes I am, declares Trump not racist and a friend to African Americans.
My name is David.
All right, let's go ahead and RP to the headphone user. Sorry for that.
Hilliard, founding member of the Black Panther Party. I knew Trump when Trump was a college student in New York, and he supported the Black Panther Party. That's how I know Trump.
What kind of person do you think Donald Trump is?
Trump is a person who's a decent man, and he supported the Black Panther Party. That's what I just mentioned to you. He was someone who gave us money, and Trump was a decent guy.
Mm-hmm.
Your video, I told you.
When you say a decent guy,
I told you.
That's Face the Nation.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah, I was one of two black. Trump.
Yes.
Trump's a friend of African Americans, and I knew Trump from the 1960s in New York, where he comes from. And
now, remember, some people say that Trump was a racist back in the 60s. He didn't want to lead to black people, all this, that, and the third. Okay. Here my man is saying, I knew him back in the 60s during that particular era in New York. And Trump was always a friend to African Americans, which is the case. You can see him in pictures. It's documented. You can see him in pictures with Rosa Parks, Muhammad Ali, on up to Snoop Dogg and everybody else. For years and years and years and years and years, he's been a friend to the black community. I would go as far as to say, as I've said before, that Trump is an honorary black person. It wasn't until 2015 where he became a racist because he ran as a Republican and won. That's what happened.
He's a friend to African Americans.
Oh, and now when you say a friend to African American, what do you mean by friend?
I mean he's not a racist. He's not a racist, fascist white man. He supported black people.
Now, do you think this man is not of sound mind? That he's just talking and doesn't understand what he's saying? He has some kind of dementia or something like that. Do you think that? Because remember, his grandson came out after this, kind of went around and said that, oh, he was being taken advantage of. He didn't know what he was talking about. He sounds of pretty clear mind to me. Okay. I know what an elderly man who does not sound a clear mind sounds like, Joe Biden. That does not sound like this man right here.
Owned every brownstone in a place called Harlem, New York.
Oh, wow. Okay. Now, do you remember the time that Trump supported Jesse Jackson?
No, but I remember when he supported the Black Panther Party.
Wow. That's incredible. And how did he support the Black Panther Party?
With his money.
Whoa, for real? My goodness.
He gave us money.
So, in your opinion, Trump has always been, now that he has these 34 counts of being a felon, Trump has always been part of the black community, or familiarized at least with the black community.
Now, somebody asked me who's doing the interview. This account that I'm seeing right here, not just a right-wing angel. Shout out to my man, right wing angel Oliver. That's who posted the actual clip. But the TikTok that it appears to be from originally is Carol Mitchell 27, and I'm on her page right now, and it says she's a writer and author of letters to Carol, Amazon.com, Cash App, etc. But if this is a black woman interviewing them, and she appears to be like maybe in her 60s.
That's exactly right. Trump was a friend to people of African American descent, and he owned all of Harlem.
Wow, that's amazing. So in your opinion, sir, your valued opinion, why do you think they put all these charges on Trump and they're afraid of him to be president?
Because Trump likes Africans in America. He likes black folks. That's one. I think that Trump is qualified and a very decent approach to having somebody representing America. Trump,
yeah, I agree with you.
So, I mean, there we go. Again, this is one of the founders of the Black Panther Party, or one of the a former leader of the Black Panther Party, who had known Trump back in 1960s, Harlem, New York. And he was always a friend to the black community. He's not a racist, doesn't hate black folks, not a fascist. All right. So shout out to him. But we've always known that. We have always known that for a very long time. Now we have yet another person talking about Trump. This is a more recent, I guess you would say, convert maybe. This man, True Nola, TRU3NOLA. So obviously somebody from New Orleans. Check him out.
So who going to vote for the felon? I'm going to vote for the felon. It's Trump 2024. You already know, the more you indict, the more we unite. You get what I'm trying to tell you? We gonna make it so big to where it can't be rigged, because you know when it's tight, it's right. You get what I'm saying? So let's show them that we gonna stick together. Who gonna vote for the felon? I'm going to vote for the felon. If you voting for Donald Trump, stitch this video, you heard me. Duet this video, you heard me. Share this video, you heard me. Let's make this thing a trend, because I'm going to vote for the felon. If you voting for the felon, put down in the comments, Trump 2024, you voting for the felon. You get what I'm saying? Throw them American flags up. Let's go, y'all. Let's show them that we stick together no matter what. Donald Trump is our president. That's who's going to be our president. And come November 5th, we going to make it happen. You heard me. Let's go.
So shout out to him. Again, his social media handle, TRU3, the number 3, NOLA. TRU, the number 3, NOLA. True Nola. Shout out to him. All right. Now, we got quite a few more of these. We got something that is going to really offend a lot of people. People are going to get really, really triggered. I might need to end up doing a video about this. Look at what we have here. Hold on. You ready? This is just a picture. 50, a.k.a. Ferrari F50, 50 Cent, Curtis Jackson with Lauren Boebert. And then he posted this on his official account, 50 Cent. It says, Lauren Boebert, Colorado Republican, making the White House look good, with a little, sly emoji face. Now, the think piece is, listen, I can hear Jemele Hill screeching from her house right now. I can hear the screeching from the white liberals, the black liberals, every kind of color liberal, the haters. I hear them screeching right now. Edna Navarro, Whoopi Goldberg. Listen, The View, I can hear every single cast member of The View busting into flames spontaneously as we speak. Oh, just from a picture, they're upset. You're not triggered. Hey, you guys not going to get triggered. But some people are going to get triggered. Oh, man, it's just so much. So shout out to 50 Cent. I'm not sure why he was at the White House. I mean, there's people talking about it, but this is kind of a recent picture, so I got to kind of look into it and see what's going on. Okay. Let me see. Hold on, James Vaughn. It's a really good question. James Vaughn says, but why doesn't he want to give black folks reparations? He tried He tried. Remember the platinum plan? Remember $500 billion of investment? He tried. He put it out there. He said, hey, all you got to do, put me in office again and you got it. That's it. Put me in office again and you got it. $500 billion of investment into the community. What happened instead? We voted for the other guy. And where did that $500 billion go? The $500 billion did get spent. Where did it go? Since summertime 2022, up until right now, there has been right around $500 billion spent on illegal aliens. So the money got spent, but you didn't get it. You said, you know what? I don't want to vote for Trump. He's a racist. Let me vote for the other guy instead. So that money that was going to be given to you and your community was given to them. Oh, well. Oh, well. So, I mean, and listen, the left have no incentive to do anything for you. There's zero incentive. We're going to vote for you regardless of what. So why? Our vote is pretty much just a lock for the Democratic Party. Joe Biden got on camera and said, hey, if you don't know whether you vote for me or for Trump, then you ain't even black. If you don't know whether you're voting for me or for Trump, then you ain't black. He got on the Breakfast Club, a black show, in front of a black man and said that. Basically spit right in his face. Pooey. Spit in his face. Y'all didn't do nothing but go out there and vote for him again. So I don't want to hear that ever again from your mouth. If you voted for the other guy, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Period. Anyway, I'm getting triggered. So 50 Cent spoke outside of the White House on the Capitol. The question was, what do you see among African-American men in this election? He says, I see them identifying with Trump. And the question, why do you say that? And the answer, because they got RICO charges.
Have you made a decision?
I haven't.
Okay. What do you think is the significance?
Thank you.
Just last question. What do you see as the significance of African American men in this election? Thank you, everybody. For both of you.
I see them identifying with Trump.
Why do you say that?
Because they got RICO charges.
And yes, it is Ben Crump right there, the ambulance chaser, right to 50 Cent's left, but on the right-hand side of the screen, that is Ben Crump right there. And right in front of Ben Crump, the super wokester, the ambulance chaser, 50 Cent says that he sees a lot of black men identifying with Trump because they got RICO charges or whatever. So he says, basically, although that's not a specific direct endorsement, it's not an official endorsement, it's halfway like that. And then you take a picture with Lauren Boebert in the White House. Then you go out there and you're talking about we're supporting Trump. So I mean, it's moving. It's definitely moving. All right. So shout out to 50 Cent. Shout out to 50 Cent. Now, the Biden campaign wants to kind of counteract that because they want to get the black vote. I guess this is their idea of outreach to the community. Now, I've not watched this, but this is going to be pretty interesting. Hold on. Shout out to NWokeness on the Twitter. Reposted this from TikTok, I suppose, or Instagram, one of these accounts. And the caption, haha, this is epic. Let me put it on the screen. Biden's campaign is desperately trying to win black voters on TikTok. It's backfiring spectacularly. Read the reply to the latest post. Check this out.
Guys, you have to see this new report about Donald Trump. A producer on The Apprentice just came out and said that Donald Trump called a black contestant on his show this.
Okay, so they're not showing the video. They're just showing some, hold on. Former Apprentice producer alleges Trump used N-word to refer to black contestant. You're right. Listen, if Trump ever said anything like that, if Trump ever used any kind of racial slur, everybody would know about it. Look, Trump, the whole Access Hollywood tape got out there. The Stormy Daniels stuff got out there. They're talking about Trump likes to eat McDonald's with Diet Cokes. I mean, you know everything about Trump. I'm surprised we don't have stool samples from the White House toilet at this particular point in time as it relates to Trump. They got everything. They got tax returns and this and that and the third. You think if you use the N-word, we wouldn't know about it? It'd be coming out right now. If you're going to be anything, be for real. So, they're not showing the video here. They're just showing the comments. Okay, I'm gonna let the audio play in a minute, but then here's the comments. Can't wait to afford a house. Why is my rent expensive? I can't afford eggs. Why my gas so expensive? Why are my groceries so expensive? Why is my gas so expensive? Gas, same thing. 3.2 million. Why are groceries so expensive? We're broke. Hearsay. AI can do anything now. 3.4 million. Now 3.2 versus 300,000. Let's let the audio play so these comments make a little bit more sense in context.
Guys, you have to see this new report about Donald Trump. A producer on The Apprentice just came out and said that Donald Trump called a black contestant on his show this. And here's Donald Trump's own former assistant confirming that there's a tape of him saying it.
I had an opportunity to go out in Los Angeles.
Omarosa, by the way, who you hear in the background talking about the N-word tape. Omarosa is a complete nut and everybody knows it, but I digress. Let's read some more of the comments as the audio continues.
And sit down with the person who actually has a copy of the tape. And I heard his voice as clear as you and I are sitting here.
You have heard the tape?
I have heard
since
the
publication
tape.
of this book?
Absolutely.
So you know it exists?
And I know it exists.
Anyone notice a pattern here? This is the same man who called to execute innocent black men and spread racist lies about the first black president. Donald Trump is exactly who we all knew he was, a lifelong racist. Black voters kicked Donald Trump out of the White House in 2020, and we're gonna do it again this November. Guys, you have to see this new report about Donald Trump.
So you see all the comments here. I'm not sure what the 3.2 M is referring to. If you guys know, let me know in the comments. But it's a lot of stuff, old stuff, the Omarosa tape. That was a rumor like, 2018 or so? I don't even know when that was. It was a long time ago. But people are saying gas expensive, can't afford a house, all kind of stuff.
Confirming that there's a tape of him saying it.
All right, so that's kind of what's going on here. You see all the comments. Here we go. They got Joe Biden. Somebody said it in the comments right here about the whole N-word tape. Somebody said on the stream, as I'm streaming right now, that Biden said that. Here's a quote. And I quote Joe Biden, "We've already had an N-word mayor. We don't need any more N-word big shots." Senator Joe Biden, hashtag never forget. That's correct. Now, it's true that Joe Biden was reading a quote, but he did say it. Trump never said it in any context, whether it was him reading the quote or out of anger or anything like that. And if there was such a thing that happened, where's the evidence? You're not going to be able to find it. Okay? You're not going to be able to find it. All right. And then somebody says, why is a starter home $400,000? Why is a cup of coffee $8? So people are not really feeling it. There's nobody that's actually there's nobody that's supporting Biden on this at all. There's nobody that's supporting this at all. It's just not really your thing. So yeah, shout out to these people on the TikTok. Good luck.
2020, and we're gonna do it again this.
Yeah. So they kept replaying the video over and over to show all the comments. But yeah, that didn't go very well. Now here's something else. Hold on. Oh, okay, thank you, Lisa. Lisa says the 3.4 million is Trump's followers on TikTok. Yeah, because Biden's TikTok is nowhere near that. Let me see if that video I showed you was on Biden's TikTok or what. Let me see if I can find it. I don't think it was. It might have just been on her particular TikTok. But yeah, the page just keeps growing and growing and growing. Yeah, matter of fact, it was. So the video I just showed you was on Biden's TikTok. Now, as of right now, the Biden-Harris HQ TikTok page has 361,000 followers. Let's look at how many followers Trump has on TikTok. And let's see if it's going to show up. Okay. Can we show it or not? Okay, real Donald Trump. Is it going to show? There we go. So Trump has one TikTok post and 5.6 million followers. 5.6 million followers as of right now, compared to the 350,000 or so that the Biden TikTok has. It's a big difference. And the Biden page has been there for a long time with a whole lot of TikToks on it. Trump just has one post, just that quick, that many followers. Obviously, there's a big popularity gap, clearly. All right. Now, let's get into Byron Donalds. Okay, let's get into Byron Donalds. Byron Donalds, they're trying to make him say something that he didn't say, of course, which is what the left always does. Man, they do the same thing to me. They do the same thing to everybody. Now, Byron Donalds was in he was quoted in an article saying something about Jim Crow and the black family, and they made that be something else other than what he was saying. All right. Now, let me see. Okay, let me get the quote up right here. Let me get the quote up, and then we're going to get into what Hakeem Jeffrey said and whatnot. So there was an article. I'm not really sure where this was, but there was an article, and we're going to just read this here. All right. Now, somebody, Amar Musa, I don't know who that is, says, wow, Trump VP contender and close ally Byron Donalds says life was better for black Americans under Jim Crow. That's not what he said, but let me just read you what he said. Here's the article. At another point, Donald said he is starting to see the reinvigoration of the black family, which he described as younger people forming nuclear family units and helping to breathe the revival of a black middle class in America. He went on to say that those family values had previously been eroded by democratic policies that black voters embraced after becoming loyal to the party due to civil rights. And then here's the quote. You see, during Jim Crow, the black family was together. During Jim Crow, more black people were not just conservative. Black people have always been conservative minded, but more black people voted conservatively. And then HEW, Lyndon Johnson, you go down that road, and now we are where we are. He added, referring to the former U.S. Department of Health, Education, and Welfare. Okay, HEW, Health, Education, and Welfare. Now check it out. What he said right here is a fact. During Jim Crow, the black family was tighter. We did vote more conservative. That's just a fact. Now, he did not say that we were better off during Jim Crow, because if you say something like that, the implication is we were better because it was Jim Crow. You see what I'm saying? So now we're starting to create quotes that were not said, and then from the fake quote, we're trying to derive a certain conclusion. We're trying to make it seem like he meant a certain thing other than the fact. Listen, if I say that it rained on Saturday, it just rained on Saturday. That's it. It's a fact. I mean, you can't really argue. You can just go outside. You can look at videotape. It's right there. We see the evidence. This is just a fact. Okay. Now, somebody says it was family, but not financially. It don't even matter. Like, we're talking about other things that weren't even said. We're talking, see, we're bringing in arguments that weren't said. Talk about what he said. Now, we can have another conversation about what was going on during that time, but what he said right there is a fact. And nobody can say that he's a liar. You can introduce other things that he did not say and try to argue that, but this, it is what it is. Now, here's what Jamel Hill said. Aside from the lynchings, racial terror, degradation, humiliation, inhumane treatment, continued forced servitude, it was an incredible time for black folks. See, he didn't say anything about any of that. She's introducing new things to the argument that were not even introduced, and then making a conclusion based upon, see, that right there is called a straw man argument. When you create an argument that was not part of the argument and then debunk that. Okay, that's called a straw man argument. That's not a good faith argument at all. All right, now, here's what Byron Donalds said about the quote. And then I'm going to break down what Byron Donalds said, because there were some things I kind of missed in my video from today that I kind of want to get into.
Mr. Speaker, it has come to my attention that a so-called leader has made the factually inaccurate statement that black folks were better off during Jim Crow.
But you saw the quote. Did he say that? That's his opinion about what he said. Oh, he said that the family was tighter and voted more conservative. Therefore, he thinks that we were better off during Jim Crow. That's not what he said. That's your opinion about what he said. That's another straw man argument. You're creating a thing that was not said and debunking that rather than what was actually said. If you just look at the fact about the family being stronger, closer together, and voting more conservative, those things can't be denied. You can look at the actual numbers and statistics and see that it's true. Now, you can argue the reason, but that's a different story.
That's an outlandish, outrageous, and out-of-pocket observation. We were not better off when a young boy named Emmett Till could be brutally murdered without consequence because of Jim Crow. We were not better off when black women could be sexually assaulted without consequence because of Jim Crow. We would not.
Now, okay, two things he said. You're talking about Emmett Till and then the assault of black women. Now, Emmett Till obviously was a tragedy, but let me ask you something. Okay, between 1865 and 1965, how many black folks were lynched? I said it in my video, but how many black folks were lynched between 1865 and 1965 in this country? Notice I didn't say by whites, by blacks, by whoever. I said how many were lynched between 1865 and 1965.
Not better off when people could be systematically lynched without consequence because of Jim Crow. We were not better off when children could be denied a high-quality education without consequence because of Jim Crow. We were not better off when people could be denied the right to vote without consequence because of Jim Crow. How dare you make such an ignorant observation? You better check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Okay, Ice Cube lyrics with the cringe at the end. Yeah, somebody said great value Obama, Kirkland, Costco Obama. Yeah, that's pretty much Hakeem Jeffries all day long. All day long. Now listen, going back to my question. There were 3,500 black folks lynched between 1865 and 1965. I didn't say by who. I didn't say it was the Klan. I didn't say it was white folks. I didn't say it was black folks. Also during that time, 1,700 whites were lynched in this country. I didn't say by black folks. I didn't say by white folks. I just said that they were lynched. Okay. Now, they could have been innocent. They could have been guilty because sometimes when somebody got lynched, are you ready for it? Sometimes when somebody got lynched, they did something that they shouldn't have been doing. Okay. Sometimes they were innocent. How do you know how many were innocent versus how many people actually did something? And that goes for the black victims of lynching and also the white victims of lynching, because it was not just a one-sided thing. Sometimes black folks will lynch a black person. Sometimes blacks will lynch a white person. Sometimes whites will lynch black. Sometimes it was a Klan. Sometimes it was just a mob in the neighborhood. That's why they call it a lynch mob. Okay, somebody is accused of doing something. Maybe they did it. Maybe they didn't do it. Mob gets angry, go out there, kick in your door and lynch you. 3,500 between 1865 and 1965. That's 35 per year on average. 35 black folks in America on average. Now, 3,500 people lynched. How many black folks are deleted from black on black violence in America every year in this country? Right now, 2024, 2023 or whatever. About 7,500. Right around that. And it was worse during the 80s, which was the worst time for black folks ever beyond slavery. The crack wars. Listen, during the crack war time, 10,000 black folks a year would get deleted. Easy. 10,000. So during the crack war time, we would eclipse the 100-year legacy of lynching in the black community every 4 months. Every 4 months, we'd eclipse it. The 100-year legacy of black folks getting lynched, we would eclipse that every 4 months. But somehow, that is the focus. Oh, the KKK and the white man and the lynching. But talking about black on black crime, all of a sudden, don't anybody want to say nothing. And don't get me started on the abortion industry. My goodness. 50% of the black population doesn't exist due to abortion. Did you know that? People always ask me, hey, ABL, how are we only 13% of the population? We've been that same percentage forever. Well, I mean, when you're deleting your babies at the highest rate in the country, how are you going to have any kind of growth? when you are deleting your not adult, when you're deleting your born people at 14 years old from gang violence, how are you going to have how are these kids that get deleted going to grow up, become adults, and have kids of their own? Do you know that the black birth rate is below replacement in this country? Fun fact, you may see somebody in the hood with 15 kids or whatever, some dude in Memphis with 25 kids by 25 women. That's the outliers. The reality is that our birth rate is below replacement. And then on top of that, we got a high homicide rate. So even if we are born, how many of us live past 14? The life expectancy for a black male is like 60. And a lot of that is because not only disease and whatnot, but people getting deleted early from homicide, black on black violence. 14% of the population, 52% of the murderers and the murder victims. So let's hear what Byron Donalds said as a response. And RP to the headphone users. I got triggered. I'm sorry. Let's keep on moving.
America, Joe Biden's campaign is lying to you once again, and they're gaslighting. Now they're trying to say that I said black people were doing better under Jim Crow. I never said that. They are lying. But why would you be surprised? Because they always lie. This is the same Joe Biden that said, if you don't vote for him, then you ain't black. The man is a liar. Sorry, just call it what it is. What I said is that you had more black families under Jim Crow. And it was the Democrat policies under HEW, under the welfare state, that did help to destroy the black family. That's what I said. And I also said you're seeing a reinvigoration of black families today in America. And that is a good thing. So don't listen to the lies from the Biden administration. I know what I said, and I'll say it straight to camera. They got to run to the Philadelphia Inquirer to move their lies. Joe Biden does not care about black people. He never has. He cares about power. First, second, and third. They can go somewhere with all that. See ya.
So there we go. Shout out to my main man, Byron Donalds. Hey, I got to see you in the Oval Office, my man. VP first, then president. I love to see it. So yeah, shout out to Byron Donalds. Right on point, 100% on point. What he said was just a fact. I mean, nobody can sit there and tell me that he lied. Nobody can sit there and tell me that he lied. Yeah, so the whole thing with I don't hear nothing about the Klan and I mean, please. 3,500 lynchings from black, white, whoever on black folks in 100 years is nothing compared to the inner city violence. It's nothing at all. But when you talk about that, all of a sudden, it's not even really a real thing. Hold on. I kind of want to skip to something else I had here. Let me just keep it pushing. Hold on. This is Jason Lee speaking to Charleston White. Jason Lee, of course, from Hollywood Unlocked. A little bit of context. Jason Lee, of course, is part of the LGBT community, and he's biracial, black and white.
So, but you commented on black murder, which I don't believe black on black crime is a thing. Do you believe it's a thing? Yeah. Why do you believe black on black? Because some would say it's all based on proximity.
The proximity argument, I always hear that. When back in the day when I was starting to talk about conservative stuff online, people said, oh, ABL is all about proximity. It's all about who you close to. Listen, if you're 13% of the population and crime is strictly about proximity and nothing else, then your numbers of violent crime, like, murder and whatnot, that should be proportionate within a certain degree to your population percentage. So if you have 13% of the population, there should be about 13% or so of the population that are murder victims and murderers that share your same race. But that's not the case. You're talking about 13% of the population and 52 or 54% of all the murderers and 52% of all the murder victims. So it's about proximity, but there's a high rate of it. It's proximity and, you see what I'm saying? Because the majority of those murder victims are killed by other black folks. That's why the rate is so high, because we kill each other at a very high rate. So you can't just say it's proximity. If it was just that and nothing else, then you wouldn't have such high numbers. The problem is the rate, not just that we do it to each other, because every group is going to pretty much be the ones who delete each other. but we got a really hard problem. We got a problem with the rate in the community, and that can't be denied. The numbers are the numbers.
Show me where the Jews killing each other. Show me where the Asians going to jail for murder, and they got Asian gangs. Mm-hmm. Show me where there's a big population of Asians in California. There are Asian Crips, Asian Bloods, Asian gang. Show me where a big population of Asians in jail.
And then the thing about it is, we delete each other for the dumbest reasons. I've seen news stories. You guys know, I read so much news every day. I cover so many stories all the time. Some of the things I covered in videos, and some things I've seen in my own personal life. So it's not just an anecdote. It's what I've actually covered from all over the country. It'd be guys getting shot over girls. Dumb stuff. I know a guy that got shot over a girl. And I know the guy who shot him, and I know the girl too. I wasn't involved, but I knew about the situation. I knew about the girl and who she was and who this. I've seen it happen time and time again. Guys would get shot over the dumbest things. Some people say it's about poverty and we don't have any money. For real. Is that what it is? Then why do you have guys getting deleted over girls? You talking about girl, or I got a story I could tell, but I can't tell that story. I witnessed somebody almost get deleted in front of me because of a girl. That kind of thing is what goes on in the community. If you ever seen The Wire on HBO, I know I always reference that, but that was dead real. That actual TV show was so real, but I'm getting triggered.
Mm-hmm. You can't. Show me a big population of white people killing white people. You can't. But this is a country of guns.
Well, only when they go in school and shoot up kids and say it's not terrorism.
But they classify that as a mass shooting. Mm-hmm. They classify ours as gun violence, but it's mass shooting because mass people are being shot in one instance. But they don't classify ours as mass shooting.
Well, where do you think that comes from, though? Because again, I'm not one to say everything goes back to white people, but lack of investing in our communities.
It comes back to us because they see we don't care. If we cared if we cared the same about black people shooting black people that we did police shootings, then they would respond to black shootings the way they do police shootings. They try to give us resources and they try to find alternative solutions after a police shooting occurred. They literally put everything on hold. Come on, we got to hear from our blacks. But that's only during a police shooting. Then we act like nothing else bothers us but police shootings. Only thing that bothers black people in America is a white police officer killing a black person. Other than that, nothing bothers us because we don't cry, we don't complain, we don't march, we don't riot, and we don't tear up shit until that happens. So why would anybody care about that? They don't.
Hey, Charleston White, you may have seen him because he does a lot of antics online. He's really just out there, really zany, wacky, or whatever. But he's a smart person, and he's a real person. He's a realistic person. What he said right there was right on point. There's no way you could really argue that. If you're being serious and if you're not being a liar, you can't argue what he said at all. You can't argue with it at all. What he said was right on point. Right on point. Now, okay, I have more here. My man, the Michigan man. Remember the Michigan man who had the suspended license on Zoom, but he went to the actual, so he had a suspended license and he appeared on Zoom while driving in front of the judge in a Zoom court. The judge was like, are you driving really in front of me? You don't have a license. Okay, go to jail right now. The guy spends 2 days in jail. Then he comes out and says, hey, wait a minute. My license was suspended back in 2010. I got it reinstated in 2022. So I have a license. I shouldn't have gotten locked up because they forgot to send it through. There's another update to that. Okay, there's one more update here. Hold on. The guy was wrong from the beginning, according to the judge. All right. So let's get into the context. Then we're going to get into the second update.
I was thinking about getting my wife medical help. That's what I was thinking.
Corey Harris said that's why he was behind the wheel earlier this month when he appeared before District Court Judge Cedric Simpson, who knew Harris was appearing on a charge of driving while license suspended.
Mr. Harris, are you driving?
Actually, I'm pulling into my doctor's office, actually. So just give me 1 second.
We spoke to Harris by phone today, and he said the doctor wanted to see his wife for some ongoing medical issues that had worsened, and he didn't think about anything but getting her there.
You stationary?
I'm pulling in right now at this second. Yes, I am.
Corey Harris was cited for driving while license suspended in Pittsfield Township back in October. He said it was suspended for unpaid child support. Secretary of State records show his license was first suspended for child support back in 2010. But Harris told us he thought his license had been reinstated.
They were supposed to have been lifted it two years ago, but they didn't.
And according to the Saginaw County court records we found, Harris is right. In January 2022, a judge rescinded that suspension on his license, but for some reason that information never got to the Secretary of State, where even as of today, his license is still listed as suspended, the same records the judge was going by.
This is a driving while license suspended?
That is correct, Your Honor.
And he was just driving. Failure to turn himself in will result in a bench warrant with no bond.
So that's the general gist of it right there. Now we have another piece here. Okay, we got another piece. So it turns out the guy never had a license ever in his life. He never had a license. Now what happened was he had a child support issue, and his right to operate a vehicle was suspended in Michigan. Okay? If he had a license, it wouldn't have been valid in Michigan. That's all that it was. Let me just let the judge explain. It doesn't make a lot of sense, but we're going to hear from the judge.
I will tell you, first of all, with any reference to your client having had a license on that day, and some indication or misunderstanding as to whether or not he had a license. Let me make it very clear, based on what the court looked at, he has never had a Michigan license, ever.
So I know it's bad sound, but what he's saying is that he never, ever had a license. Like, he never had a driver's license, ever in his life.
And has never had a license in the other 49 states and commonwealths that form up this great union. He has never had a license. In point of fact, when they suspended his license, and what people don't understand, when they suspended his license in Saginaw, they don't suspend the license. They suspend the privilege to drive in the state.
So you hear what he said. So when his license was suspended in 2010 in Saginaw, Michigan, they did not suspend his license. They suspended his right to drive in Michigan. Okay, so that doesn't affect your actual license, which is why when the suspension was lifted, he still didn't have a license because he never got that. You understand? He never got that. He never had a license.
Hence, for example, if he had had a Kentucky license, he would be able to drive everywhere that Kentucky would allow him to drive. He just couldn't drive in Michigan because his privileges had been restricted. I know, but I will.
So here's a transcript, a little bit from Shade Room. He has never had a license ever, and has never had a license in any of the other 49 states or commonwealths that make up this country. When they suspended his license, they didn't suspend the license. They suspended the privilege to drive in the state. Hence, if he had a Kentucky license, he would have been allowed to drive anywhere that Kentucky allowed him to drive. He just couldn't drive in Michigan because his privileges had been restricted. The way I know that he's never had a license is because on May 3rd, 1999, at the time he was 19, he applied for his first Michigan ID. He has religiously every year gotten a new ID. And so he knows he doesn't have a license. Okay, so that's the update there. Okay, so the first thing was He was on a Zoom call looking crazy because he has no license and driving, and the judge can see him and the lawyer can see him. Then it came out that his license was suspended but reinstated in 2022. But now it wasn't the license that was suspended. It was his right to drive that was suspended, and that was reinstated. But he still did not have a license. So it doesn't even matter if the right to drive was reinstated because there was never a license at all. That's just that on that. So yeah, it's a mess. Yes, there was a clerical error, but it doesn't even matter because there was never a license. If he was to get a license and have it in between the time of the lifting of the license suspension and now, he'd be good, but he never did that. All he had was just a regular state ID. Why was he driving? Hey, he'd been driving since 1999 with no license. He'd been driving 25 years with no license, so he was like, forget it. Why not? He just refused to get a license. Got locked up, had a warrant for no license. He's like, you know what? I'm going to just keep on doing it. I've been driving since the 90s with no paperwork. I'm going to keep on rocking. Now, I know we got some sovereign citizens in here talking about right to travel. Look, if you want to do that, if you want to have these fake license plates, you know what? I'm not trying to get in the way. I don't recommend that because I'm not trying to have any kind of police confrontations. I'm not trying to be a guy on the side of the road arguing, talking about I'm not driving, I'm traveling. I'm not trying to have those discussions. So if you want to do that, that's totally fine. If you like it, I love it. If you like it, I love it. Okay. Now, Caitlin Clark, I'm going to get to that. And then I'm going to get to some more, I guess you would say, just different videos. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okay. Let me just, we got something from Pat McAfee. Now, it's going to be a little bit of language. So RIP to any sensitive ears. Pat McAfee, of course, on ESPN has, I think, the biggest podcast, biggest show on the network. They spent $1 trillion basically on this guy. And he referred to Caitlin Clark by an expletive. I don't think it was intended to insult her, but he did refer to her with an expletive. All right, so let's go ahead and check it out.
Like the media people that continue to say, this rookie class, this rookie class, this rookie class. Nah, just call it for what it is. There's one white bitch for the Indiana team who is a superstar. Like the media people that continue to say, this rookie class, this rookie class, this rookie class. Nah, just call it for what it is. There's one white bitch for the Indiana team who is a superstar.
So he went on to really compliment her and say that she's, carrying the league, and sorry for the cursing, but he had to apologize for using the B word, all this, that, and the third. People making it be about race, but really it's about she's the star, the biggest star, and people are jealous of her. There's other white players, there's other heterosexual players in the league, but because they aren't as good as Caitlin Clark, they get no attention. Being white and straight in the WNBA is not enough to get you attention. Okay, you have other rookies like Cameron Brink. Cameron Brink, I'm gonna show you Cameron Brink right quick. And shout out to the thirsty boys out there who have already seen Cameron Brink. Yes, this woman I'm gonna show right here does play basketball. What team is she on? Cameron Brink team. She's on the LA Sparks. So this is Cameron Brink, 6'4", model-esque, beautiful. I believe her family knows Steph Curry. Steph Curry's like her stepdad or something. I don't know. But this is Cameron Brink, also a rookie in the WNBA. Very popular, very pretty. 6'4", model-esque. There's no hate at all to Cameron Brink. She's white. She's heterosexual. She's pretty. You know the difference? The difference is that she's not as good as Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark is the all-time leading scorer in the NCAA, even scoring more than the men. All-time leading scorer in the NCAA. She's a highly skilled basketball player. It's just like when Jordan came in the league as a young guy with the shoe deal and everybody loved him. It was the same thing. You had guys like Bill Laimbeer, a white guy, knocking him around on the Pistons. Nobody said that Bill Laimbeer was a racist. They said Bill Laimbeer was dirty, alongside Dennis Rodman and the rest of them, and Joe Dumars, all these guys beating up Michael Jordan. Nobody said it was racist. They said, you know what? They're jealous of the young buck coming in, getting so much attention, getting so much shine. And because they were beating up Michael Jordan so much, they were beating him up relentlessly, they changed the rules for Jordan. And the same thing will happen here with Caitlin Clark, because they keep beating her up because they want to dominate and say, oh, I'm better than her. Who is she? She gets so much attention. We were already here. It's just jealousy. It's human nature. So they probably changed the rules for her as well. Same thing that happened to Jordan. Now, was the Jordan situation racism? Can anybody say that? Because it's Caitlin Clark and she's white, is racism? Come on, let's be serious. Big time player, superstar player is going to evoke some jealousy, especially from the young ladies who we all know can be very jealous. Men can be jealous too, but listen, the envy and jealousy from women is on another level. We're not nowhere near their level of petty when it comes to jealousy. We can engage in it, just like Michael Jordan had to go through, LeBron James, all these guys had to go through it. Even Wemby to a certain point. The new guy, the 7'8" alien out there, is going through a little bit of jealousy. Same thing, Caitlin Clark. Okay, it's not so much about your color, it's about your athleticism, your skill, your star power, and the attention you get. Simple. Okay. Now, let's keep on going. What Rob Smith said right here was right on point. Let me just play this right quick.
The media wants an Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark race war, and you guys are falling for it hook, line, and sinker. Let me break this down to you. I do not watch the WNBA. You could not pay me to watch the WNBA. I don't even watch the regular NBA because I think that it's a bunch of overgrown, spoiled millionaires fighting over a ball. I prefer NCAA. That being said, Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese are the only two WNBA players that I have ever heard of. They're obviously very famous, and there is a push behind both of these women to use them to make the WNBA more successful and more famous. Fine, whatever. Love capitalism. No problem with this.
You know what's happening with Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark? They're kind of being used like Magic and Larry Bird. You know, the rivalry between the two of them, the black and white narrative, because you're going to have some people that just rally behind Caitlin Clark because she's white, Angel Reese because she's black, and then that creates some attention, some drama, some smoke, and then that brings viewers. Same thing, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson. They were able to kind of give the NBA a lift, and then here comes Jordan, another lift. LeBron, Kobe, Shaq, that whole 90s era, another lift.
So, Angel Reese is definitely being elevated among black media. Caitlin Clark has been elevated among all media. These women are both superstars. They're both tall, athletic, good-looking, everything you need to be a superstar. Now, what we have is a lot of grievance and entitlement culture from the paid black liberals on our mainstream media that are saying that because Caitlin Clark is being elevated, she is somehow taking something from the majority of black women that are in the WNBA, right? And so they're trying to elevate Angel Reese. You know, Angel Reese is going on the Met Gala red carpets, et cetera, et cetera. And now you see that this other chick from the Chicago Sky, I don't even know what her name is, now she's like body checking Caitlin Clark, and she's getting her little moment because, again, this other chick had no idea who this person was. So now what they are trying to do is trying to make Caitlin Clark a MAGA hero. They are trying to MAGA code this woman, okay? What they want is for conservatives to rally around Caitlin Clark, and what they want is for it to say, the treatment of Caitlin Clark is racist, et cetera, et cetera. So when you make Caitlin Clark conservative coded, when conservatives start rallying around Caitlin Clark, you are giving the mainstream media race baiters exactly what they are looking for so that they can start calling Caitlin Clark a racist because she has a quote-unquote racist MAGA conservative voter base. This is the play. You guys are falling for it. Remember who told you first.
There it is. So shout out to my main man, Rob Smith, for breaking it all the way down. Let's not fall for the BS. let's not fall for the BS. All right, let's keep on rocking and rolling. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That helped me out tremendously. Let's go back to people talking about Trump. Now, I showed you at the beginning of the show people that were speaking positively about Trump. They like Trump a lot. Now, some don't like Trump too much. Some have negative opinions about Trump. Check it out. All right, this person right here voted for Trump the first time, but after J6, things changed. All right.
I am unbelievably frightened of what would happen if we were to re-elect Donald Trump to the presidency. My name is Marla Berger, and I live in Bella Vista, Arkansas. And previously, I voted for Donald Trump the first time that he ran because I believed in the direction Republicans were going with our country, and I felt like his business sense would be good for our country. As Donald Trump's presidency progressed, I continued to see just an utter lack of self-control on his part. January the 6th was an absolute turning point for me. When our own president attempted to lead an insurrection against our government, that was the moment that I said enough. Donald Trump has absolutely no respect for the office of president, nor does he have respect for the American people. He has openly said he admires dictators and despots, and I believe that admiration is going to lead him down a similar path in our country. I am unbelievably frightened of what would happen if we were to re-elect Donald Trump to the presidency. I, for one, will not be voting for a man so devoid of a moral compass, so utterly disrespectful of the American people, and an obvious criminal.
So there we have it. All right. So that's, your Aunt Jan at the family reunion. She's going to say that to you once you see her the next time. Okay. Now here is Claire McCaskill talking about what conservatives want as far as it relates to guns. This is pretty interesting.
And the irony here, I mean, let's step back for a minute and think about this. It's a gun charge. Now, understand.
Now, they're talking about Hunter Biden, of course, because we know Hunter Biden has the pistol and the cocaine and whatnot that he's facing in court right now.
That what the Republicans want to do is allow everyone to buy guns everywhere without ever having to tell the federal government anything.
Now, how did this become about Republicans wanting to buy guns anywhere at any time when Hunter Biden is in court right now because he violated the law allegedly because he lied on his background check, which is a Brady Act violation, which is a law that his dad helped to legislate and get into from a bill to a law. And he also smoked crack up to 15 times while he smoked crack up to 15 times a day while he owned his gun. So you can't be using controlled substances while you're a gun owner. You can't lie on your background check, and you can't dispose of your guns willy-nilly like the way he did, allegedly. So why is it about us when it's really about your guy?
Right. They are so totally opposed to the idea that the federal government gets to know anything about them and their gun purchases. They don't believe in the law that he is being prosecuted under. And the irony.
But look, though, the thing is, either we're going to have the law or we're not. If we are going to be prosecuted for a thing, then so should he. Don't try to say they don't believe in the law. Okay, look, let's say we don't. Then get rid of the law. And anyone who has been locked up under the law, free him from the penitentiary. You can't have both ways. You can't say that it's a law that shouldn't be prosecuted when your guy is the one that faces it. No. If we're going to have laws in this country and we got to abide by them, then it shouldn't matter who is the person that could get locked up as a result of the law. Let everybody face the same situation. Again, that's Claire McCaskill. She was a politician. She was a senator in Missouri, I believe, from 07 to 19. Okay, so yeah, shout out to her. But yeah, it's ridiculous. Let everybody face the same penalty. Okay, now, speaking of senators, I have some cringe for you. Okay, this person is trying to change laws. First, they're trying to talk about the gun law shouldn't really be followed except for everybody else, but just not Hunter Biden. Now, this woman says she wants to lower the voting age to 16. Okay, we're lowering the voting age to 16, but don't they say that your brain isn't developed till you get to be 25? Whatever. So they want to lower the voting age to 16. Now, here's some cringe in her plea to get this lowered. All right, check it out.
Honorable fam, waiting to vote until 18 is a big yikes and mad shuggy. But S201 hits different. Today's youth slays and stays bussin'. That's why we gotta give them a chance to clap back. If not, how will we be able to say that they ate that up? No cap, this bill slaps and is electoral glow up. I am its #1 stan for real. Merci, thank you, Nyawa.
Okay, so again, Senator Clement, she was speaking in Gen Z while trying to lower the voting age to 16. One more time. I know you guys want to hear it. I know it was great.
Honorable fam, waiting to vote until 18 is a big yikes and mad shuggy. But S201 hits different. Today's youth slays and stays bussin'. That's why we gotta give them a chance to clap back. If not, how will we be able to say that they ate that up? No cap, this bill slaps and is electoral glow up. I am its #1 stan for real. Merci, thank you, Nyawa.
So I guess that's Canada because, you know, he's talking about merci and now I guess that's First Nations language and also French. So, yeah, shout out to the Canadians. Yeah, you guys, Bernadette Clement, independent from up there in the great white north, speaking in full cringe. Okay. Now, at least she didn't do the Toronto accent. If your mom's still in the hood, the worst accent in the world. Oh, my goodness. But, yeah, that was her trying to reach out to the Gen Zers, and she's in Montreal, Canada. Shout out to the Canadians. Yeah, a Canadian senator. All right, let's keep on going. We got some more cringe. Not really cringe. Shout out to my main man, James Klug, got there on the street. This one, I always see comments telling me to show them the facts. Well, here's how it went. So, you know, James Klug goes out there, does street interviews, talking to a lot of these leftists, and he had some facts in his hand related to the questions he was asking about certain things that are going on. It might have been about the border or whatever. And I don't think they like that too much. All right, check it out.
We're talking to people about this chart right here. We have apprehensions at the southern border.
I understand a chart, yeah.
We have Donald Trump years. We have Joe Biden years. Obviously a major difference there. What changed in your view?
Your numbers are wrong, and I'm Biden all the way.
Do you mind if I show you the Border Patrol numbers on my phone? No?
They don't want to hear it. So it's like, okay, I'm showing you the numbers. I'm showing you the facts, but they don't want to hear it. Just like earlier, I was talking about the numbers, about the lynching and all that kind of stuff. Who wants to hear it when they already got their mind made up? All right?
Makes sense. What changed here, do you think?
A lot of things could have changed, but I would actually have to see the sources for this data because I have no idea.
Totally reasonable. Do you want me to pull it up right now on CBP so you can see a couple of those?
No.
Nah. So he just said, I want to see the source for your data because I don't really, that could just be anything. He's like, I can show it to you right now. Do you want to see it? Nah, I'm good.
Good luck with
Thank you.
that. Yeah.
What changed?
You give me some statistics and things to look at. It was very inhumane president. Well, he was an and Biden has more humanity. Who knows where you got that chart? I don't know where you got the chart.
I got it from Customs and Border Protection.
So you say.
And then, of course, at the very end, he shows the numbers. And this is about the border crossing and whatnot, CBP. You're talking about the enforcement. So, of course, you're going to have a lot more enforcement of the border under Biden because he's got the border wide open. They're talking about, remember the whole thing that the kids in cages and they got the kids drinking water from the toilet, all kind of stuff under Trump. Now, Biden is prosecuting more of the illegal aliens because he's letting more in and they don't want to even see it. It's funny. My thing is just be open to hearing the actual facts. Why not? Why be so, just against any kind of facts? Now, speaking about being against facts, I think this might be an older PSA. This was like one of the first PSAs against Trump. Remember this? This is kind of a throwback. I'm not sure when this came out. This might have been 16, 17. This was quite a while ago. Again, this is an older clip because I know I'm gonna get somebody, hey, ABL, that's old. It's an older clip, but let's just kind of rewind And then after this older clip, I'm going to show you a newer one about what's happening right there on the street. I'm going to show you a scary clip after that. Check it out.
Have an obligation
to be a part of that decision.
You might think it's not important. You might think you're not important.
But that's not true. And the only way we can prove that to you is by having lots of famous people.
Lots of famous people.
Lots and lots of famous people.
Just a shit ton of famous people.
But you only get this many famous people together if the issue's
one that truly matters to all of us.
A disease or
ecological crisis or
a racist, abusive coward who could
Now, you know what's funny is that I don't recognize all these people, but I think if it was still back then, when this came out, I recognize more of them. Funny how that works.
Permanently damage the fabric of our society.
Do the math.
Do we really want to give nuclear weapons to a man whose signature move is firing?
Firing things?
she had a picture. Hold on. And then the picture says you're fired with like a little rocket beside it.
But we can end this nightmare before it begins.
We can save the day.
I remember him. He had a little run. What was his name? Jesse Williams? I think that was his name. He had a little run back then. Yeah, he was like Colin Kaepernick for about a year. I remember that.
For our children.
For our children.
For our children. For our communities.
For our communities.
For our communities.
For America.
For America. For America.
All it takes is all of us.
All of us.
All of us.
We cannot pretend both sides are equally.
You know what's funny? You know what I learned recently is that John Voight is Angelina Jolie's father. I didn't know that. I am this week old when I found out that John Voight is Angelina Jolie's father. You would never have known that, but I found that out. Shout out to Coach Greg Adams. I was watching the stream when he said that. I'm like, what? Her name was Angelina Jolie Voight, but she dropped the Voight. The same way that her daughter's dropping Brad Pitt's name, but different story. I digress.
Unfavorable.
We can't say one vote doesn't matter.
Your vote matters.
Your vote matters. It affects everything.
Not just the presidency, but the Senate,
The House.
Your local officials.
Immigration.
Immigrant.
Student debt. Common sense gun laws.
The Supreme Court.
See, this isn't just an election. It's a tipping point.
For the country.
For the world.
For your world.
So yeah, shout out to everybody in that cringe back in the day. Yeah, shout out. Yeah, I had no idea that she dropped his name. That was news to me. I'm like, really? That's who her father is. Also, what's my man's name? Nick Cage. He is Francis Ford Coppola's nephew. His name is Nicholas Coppola, but he changed it to Nick Cage. That's Francis Ford Coppola's nephew. So shout out to all these people that have very famous family members, fathers, or whatever, and you would never know. All right. Now, here's some more cringe for you. We always talk about the LGBTQ, LMNOP, X, Y, and Z trying to indoctrinate the kids. Now, there is a lot. I mean, you know, it's Pride Month. I'm not going to show all the videos I've seen. Some of what I've seen, I think that it should be illegal to see. Like, but it was in public. It wasn't anything that was, you know what I'm saying? It was stuff in public. You're talking about parades in broad daylight in major cities where you got these adults who are basically not wearing any clothes in front of small children. I'm like, how is this okay? How do you have these adult males with their stuff swinging around in front of little kids? I don't really get it. They should all be locked up right now. And that, in my opinion, is the goal of the LGBTQ, LMNOP, X, Y, Z community. That's their goal, is to push forward that whole thing, to put in another letter of their alphabet soup, if you understand what I'm saying. This guy really just says it. He puts it all out there. All right.
I won't.
Hold on, check it out. And let's get to the next thing.
I won't change your little town. Your own children will. Your children will see us. Your children will love us. And your children will join us.
So if you don't know what's going on, if you can't see the screen, this is a man dressed as a woman, and he is trembling while reading a letter. It's some kind of rally or something. I think they're in Ohio. That's what it looks like. I see like an outline of Ohio. I don't know where they are specifically in Ohio, but the signs behind this man say, "Don't be a drag, just be a queen." And then also trans rights or human rights.
I won't change your little town. Your own children will. Your children will see us. Your children will love us. And your children will join us.
Nah, he dead serious. This ain't no troll. He's dead serious. He is dead serious. So when you see the LGBTQ element of P teachers and everybody trying to be around kids, you know what the actual goal is. They're trying to add that P in the LGBTQ element of P, X, Y, and Z, you know, ABC 1, 2, 3. You already know what it is. And my thing is, just somebody said it, leave the kids alone. Listen, you want to do whatever you want to do. You want to play pretend or whatever. That's fine. If you're an adult, that's fine. Do that among yourselves, but leave the children out of it. That's my only request. Is that too much to ask? I don't think so. I don't think so. All right. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. And we have a lot more to get into. Where are we going to go next? I think we're going to go to some of the Fauci situation. There's been some, I don't know, I don't want to say it's been kind of a dog and pony show, but a little bit of that. They got Fauci. And we all know that Fauci was full of it. The whole masking thing was bogus. The vax bogus. All of that bogus. We all know it was BS. So now he's being asked a few questions in Congress.
Emails, texts, letters of myself, my wife, my 3 daughters. There have been credible death threats leading to the arrests of 2 individuals. And credible death threats means someone who clearly was on their way to kill me. And it's required my having protective services essentially all the time.
Look, now, can I just say something right quick? I don't condone any violence toward anyone. I'm all about peace. But Fauci is one of the worst humans in the history of man. And I'll just leave it there.
It is very troublesome to me. It is much more troublesome because they've involved my wife and my 3 daughters.
At these moments, how do you feel? Keep your mic on.
Terrible.
Do you continue to receive threats today?
Yes, I do. Every time someone gets up and says I'm responsible for the death of people throughout the world, the death threats go up.
So my man in the background, as you saw, was making a few faces. We're going to hear from him. Okay. He was interviewed on Brianna Morello's show. Okay. I'm not going to play the entire thing. It's like 20 minutes. I'm going to just give you a little bit. He's looking like my man from the Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order.
Both laughing about your facial expressions during Fauci's testimony, and then you triggered those on the left, and I'm always a big fan of that. So Dr. Anthony Fauci actually spoke out about it yesterday, looks like to CNN, and specifically, I believe he said that someone who just got out of jail for being arrested on January 6th attack really shouldn't be sitting behind him, is kind of what he alluded to. What is your response back to this evil little man?
Well, yeah, he seemed shocked. I actually saw that earlier today. He seemed shocked that somebody would be there about COVID, as if you can only be focused on one topic. But I mean, the policies and mandates that he advanced affected, New York State, where I'm from. It affected the country and it affected the world. Lots of people lost their lives because of him and his anti-science rhetoric, which he admitted a lot yesterday during the hearings. And he didn't really take full responsibility for it. But that's why I'm there. I mean, that was a huge reason why I showed up on January 6th, not to go to the Capitol, but to protest simply, hey, I disagree with these mandates that they're pushing out on us, that they're telling you can't go to business, you can't operate your business, you can't work, you can't go to church or the gyms. And this guy's ruined a lot of people's lives, sometimes permanently, and a lot of people lost their lives because of him. So that's why I was there. When I heard he was coming, I said, oh, absolutely, I want to show up. So, and I have my First Amendment right. I don't know why these people are so mad. Just because I was, involved in the greatest setup, in American history, doesn't mean that I should not be able to have my First Amendment right. So, and I didn't do anything, I wasn't kicked out. Maybe we can get to that, but go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I want to dive into that because I think that's the important part that we need to continue to drive.
There's more to this, but it's a long interview, so I'll leave it right there. So my man right here was behind Fauci. He has a right, First Amendment. Just because you were allegedly involved in J6 does not remove First Amendment rights. That's not how that works at all. Okay, so yeah, shout out to bro. And speaking of Star Wars, do I want to show this one? All right. Is there a new Star Wars coming out? I have no idea. But are you going to want to see it? It might be a little bit woke. Of course, everything is woke nowadays. You can't watch any kind of TV show, any movie, whatever, without the wokeness being involved.
I want to ask you both because this is, I would say, arguably the gayest Star Wars, I think, by a considerable margin. And are you excited about that? Are you
Not the
bracing
gayest
yourself?
Star Wars. Not the.
It's pretty gay. Let's be honest. Leslie, how do you feel?
Am I gay? Yes.
Well, no, I know
Yeah.
you are gay, but I'm asking, are you excited about putting this, this is going to be a talking point?
Is it going to be a talking point?
I'm sure some.
Because nerds are gay.
Well, some nerds are very not gay and are very threatened by.
I mean, everybody can't be gay though, man. Like really, I mean, it's not that common. It's just not that common, man. Like obviously what's going on here is indoctrination. They're pushing everybody to be this way. And I think sometimes people that are in Hollywood that claim to be gay are not that. They're just pushing it because they're being paid to do so.
Well, that's true.
It's just like, what's going on. I have an opinion. It's tinfoil hat time. I have an opinion. My opinion is that some of these actors, or a lot of them, actors and actresses, are being paid to pretend to be gay, just like the rappers are pretending to be thugs and whatnot, like Tupac. I mean, they're actors. So it's like, okay, your role, Tupac, is going to be as this gangster rapper. We know when you were a young man, you were dancing, putting on glittery shirts, taking pictures in the bathtub with your shirt off and your chest glistening. Okay, that's fine. But we're going to do a rebrand and you're going to be a thug. Hit them up. FY, that's going to be your new thing. But now the new thing is let's make everybody be gay because the stars are going to be gay. You're an actor, you're an actress, you're classically trained. You're going to not only act in the movies, but you're also going to act during these little interviews and whatnot as a gay person. We'll give you somebody to be gay with in public, but you could do whatever you want behind the closed doors. That's my opinion. Maybe I got a tinfoil hat and it's too tight. I'm picking up radio frequencies. I don't know what's going on, but I think that's what's happening. Okay. I'll leave that right there. I ain't gonna play the rest of that.
True,
but I think it's a real thing that's going on. All right. So let's keep on rocking and rolling. We got a World War II hero on how he views America today. All right, check it out.
The real truth?
Yeah.
I feel like a foreigner in my own country lots of times, and I don't like it. It makes my heart real heavy. And I just hope we can pull out of this. There's too much Hollywood going on in Washington all the time. The important subjects they don't cover. So the thing is, I hope all the guys will rally up and we'll go back and straighten it all out.
Right on. Shout out to my main man, Rondo. I can't pronounce his last name. Sharf, World War II vet, talking about. I feel like a stranger in my own country. I feel like I feel like a foreigner in my own country. There's some things that are going on. They're talking about the real things. It's all Hollywood in DC. It's all fake. It's all pretend. I'm with you 100%, my man. Let's keep on rocking and rolling here.
I don't run to get ready for bikini season. I run so that in the year 2030, when I'm locked out of my electric car for having a bad social credit score, I can get outside the 15-minute city limits and escape the United Nations robocops that are after me for having a steak after I've reached my CO2 limit. I don't run to get ready.
Right on. Hold on one more time.
For bikini season. I run so that in the year 2030, when I'm locked out of my electric car for having a bad social credit score, I can get outside the 15-minute city limits and escape the United Nations robocops that are after me for having a steak after I've reached my CO2 limit.
Exactly. You see kind of what the plan is for the future, but Lord willing, it's not going to get to that particular point. That's not what we want at all. We don't need that. All right. Now, the migrant situation, I showed you the video of the guy in New York City, the illegal alien who had shot 2 officers. They didn't pass away, thank God, but they just got injured. Here's a picture of the guy right here. Okay. 19 years old from Venezuela. Migrant accused of shooting 2 NYPD cops had immigration case dismissed within a year of illegally crossing into the U.S. So they knew that he entered the U.S. illegally through El Paso last year. The case was dismissed. So he had a court date and all that, but it got dismissed. Now, somehow he went from El Paso to New York City, had a gun illegally, was allegedly committing robberies, was on a moped riding the wrong way down the street, got into a chase with some cops, and then shot 2 of the cops. 19 years old. And like I said, he's 19 now. He could have turned 19 this year. So there's a chance he could have been 17 when he came into the country illegally last year, 2023. So is this 19-year-old Venezuelan criminal? Is this the unaccompanied minors you're talking about? Oh, they're unaccompanied minors. We got to give them money and all this and that and the third. Do we really need to give them anything? How about we just give them a boot up out of the country? You want to come to the country, do it the right way, rather than coming illegally and then shooting our officers. I mean, what is really going on? So that's him right there on the right-hand side. And that's one of the officers who was shot and injured. One officer was shot in his stomach, but he had a vest on. So the bullet hit his vest over his stomach. So, but if you got a vest on, it's not like you're bulletproof. You still are going to get injured. You're not going to get, necessarily a direct hit from a bullet, but it's going to injure you a little bit. And the other officer was shot in the leg. So I'm not sure if that's him in the chair or not. They got shot in the leg. But regardless of what, he shot 2 cops with an illegal weapon. And he's in the country illegally. And the case was dismissed. So when they say the border's not open, is it not open? If it's not open, I can't tell. It appears to be pretty wide open to me. It appears to be pretty wide open to me. All right, let's keep on rocking and rolling here. All right, so they're sending illegal aliens to Massachusetts in the town called Norfolk. Now, not Norfolk, Virginia, but Massachusetts. They're sending a bunch of illegal aliens up there, and the residents don't like it too much. Okay, now I don't know about Massachusetts, and I don't know about this town called Norfolk, but what do y'all know? If you guys are up there, it's like a well-to-do place, kind of a suburbia type situation. I don't know what's happening, but I think it might be kind of a suburb, kind of a small, quaint little area, and they don't want migrants out there.
Everyone in our shelter system is here lawfully and has been vetted by the federal government at the port of entry. Every single person.
So the person speaking is trying to convince the crowd that it's okay, that they're coming in, they've been vetted at the port of entry, all this and that, and the third, and the crowd's not trying to hear it. They don't want to hear it at all. Get these migrants up out of Norfolk, Massachusetts.
And there was a lot of that. Disappointment in the state's answers. Full chaos broke out a number of times.
Up to age 21. And I just want to apologize for the disrespect that you've received thus far.
A contentious debate with the livelihoods of thousands of migrant and unhoused Massachusetts families caught in the middle. Parents had questions on the educational impact of this, the state saying up to 115 school-age kids could be moving in. The town says they just don't have the space for that many students. In Norfolk.
Everyone in our...
Yeah, so if I was them, I wouldn't be feeling it. I mean, really for me, I'm not feeling it regardless. Like, point blank period, I'm not with it. You guys, I don't know where you're going to go, but you can't be here. You cannot be here. Now, here's a story from Oakland. I might do a video about this, actually. A construction crew refused to pave the roads because the neighborhood was too dangerous. Imagine that. You got potholes looking like sinkholes in your street, but they can't fix them because it's just too dangerous for the construction crews. My thing is, what are y'all even doing? What are you doing to the construction man to the point where you can't actually fix the potholes? Hold on. Let me get to this right here. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff to help me out tremendously. But we got to get to this. Okay, we have to get here. Hold on. And I might want to show one more. before and or after we get to that. Hold on. Yeah, matter of fact, before we show the construction crew, they're even robbing the ice cream man. The ice cream man, really? And it's not even the guy that has a truck. You're talking about a guy walking. He's walking ice cream down the street and they robbing him. Now, it appears to be pretty like broad daylight. I would presume if he's walking ice cream. So they robbed the little cart he was pushing and they robbed him. Whatever he got on him, cell phone, they took his sombrero off. It's like, why? Why? That's Oakland, California. I've never seen anything like that in my life. The ice cream man walking a cart, not even a truck, not even like a carjacking. He's walking a cart of ice cream and they robbing him. I mean, what in the world? So you got to the ice cream man got to carry a pistol. I mean, hey, I guess everybody got to carry a pistol nowadays, but it's California. So I guess only the criminals are allowed to have guns, but you can't have guns. Okay. Exactly, Urko. They're just trying to buy bread and eat. That's what AOC would say, right? You're robbing the ice cream man because you want to buy some bread and eat. Right. Now, let's keep on going here. This is also in Oakland. Construction crews refuse to pave the roads because it's too dangerous in the neighborhood. Look at this.
Potholes in the Sobrani Park neighborhood in Oakland. There are also potholes on Akalani's Drive and Catrone Drive. She explains it all started in March.
A public notice from the city of Oakland stating that in the upcoming months, there will be paving. At the end of April, there was signage saying that on 5-5 and 5-6, there would be work. So during those days, they came and tore up the existing pavement to get it ready to be repaved.
But Angrano says that when the day came for workers to show up and repave the roads, they were a no-show.
So I referred back to the public notice. I found the project manager and I reached out to him on 5/28. And that's when he let me know that the project was suspended indefinitely because the contractor felt unsafe performing work in East Oakland and was not going to complete the project until the city of Oakland can guarantee a safe work environment.
Now look, the road already been tore up, so you got like the pre-paved road just kind of raw like that. And that's going to continue to deteriorate as long as they can't go out there and pave it. But what are they supposed to do? They have a dangerous environment out there in Oakland, California. What are you going to do?
Angrano says that putting the whole project on pause and forcing residents to deal with the mess seems wrong.
More and more gravel and rocks being kicked up every day, every time the bus passes by. You know, I did pose that question to the project manager engineer. What happens if my tires get popped, you know, and all he could do was tell me to submit a request to the city for reimbursement. I would just like the streets repaved as soon as possible. I don't think it's fair to anybody in the community to have this indefinitely suspended or dragged out for another month.
Well, you know what's not fair is the construction crews having to deal with the violence out there in Oakland. I mean, these people got to get locked up at a certain point. It's just that simple, man. It ain't really nothing else to it. That's crazy. I've never seen that happen before. A street just left unpaved after they already tore it up because it's just unsafe. I've never seen that before in my life. But yeah, I mean, hey, I don't blame them. I do not blame them. What else are you going to do? Let's go to LA. How much do you think people are putting in their gas tank in Los Angeles? Have you ever just like looked at some of the pumps? Okay, you go to the gas station. Have you ever just looked at some of the pumps and what's being put in there? Have you ever just witnessed it like, okay, how much did the previous person put? Did it put $20, $15, $10? How much gas do you think they're putting in the pump in Los Angeles? And remember, left coast California, LA has the most expensive gas prices in the lower 48, maybe even the entire USA. Okay. So how much do you think people are paying to put in their gas? Like, what is a dollar amount you think they're putting in their tanks? Okay, let's watch this. Hold on. Here we go. Watch.
Everyone's struggling in LA right now, especially with gas prices. 38 cents is crazy.
38 cents. Now listen, regular from what I'm seeing right here on the screen and at this pump is $5.29 for regular, $5.29. Somebody put in 38 cents. That's about 2/3 of a gallon. Not even really full 2/3 of a gallon. 38 cents. Where are you going on 38 cents of gas when a gallon cost $5? Hold on. It wasn't even a third of a gallon. I'm tripping. It wasn't 2/3 of a gallon. It was less than that. It was a fraction. You're talking about 0.067 of a gallon. Okay, 38 cents. You might have enough just to start your car and to get it back to the house if you live a minute away, maybe. Lawnmower fill up ain't even going to do it. You're going to need more than that in your jerry can. Your jerry can not even going to get moisturized with that. 38 cents when a gallon costs $5.29.
8 cents is crazy. Oh, $10? Doable.
Okay, baller, $10. You got a whole 1.5 gallons. 1.58, so 1.6 gallons.
Someone really put in 37 cents.
37 cents. Another one. 37 cents of gas.
Put in 37 cents to put their gas in LA. All right, we got a $20 purchase here.
$20, balling big time.
Because that's insane.
Now, $20 got them 3 gallons, 3.175. So 3.2 gallons for $20. I mean, where are they going? 38 cent topping off. Are they topping off? So did they both do that? What's the point of putting that much gas in your car at all? If it's only that, you're already full. You're already full. Topping off your gas would be like putting 2 or 3 gallons in there, not a fraction of a gallon. I mean, that's crazy. That's totally nuts. But yeah, and LA, now remember, at that pump, the gallon was $5.29. But even still, $10 when a gallon costs $5, where are we going? Where are we going? I don't understand. $10 might have been good for gas back in the day, but 2024 in Los Angeles is crazy. Let's keep on rocking and rolling here. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. Here we have, this is a shop in Nashville. You guys may have seen this. There were some robbers at this shop in Nashville, and the customers held the door to keep the guys trapped in there until the police came. This is how you do it. Shout out to these guys out there in Nashville. Is it fake right here?
I can't. I'm not going to do it. So
these robbers are stuck inside the store. They stuck.
Trying to buy some cologne and these motherfuckers in here robbing the store.
Now, I think this is real right here, but I think maybe somebody said that the gas clip was fake.
Hell no, boy. We need for these people to get prosecuted and get prosecuted.
Derek says ABL missed the point. It's not for our car, it's for their lungs. Are they huffing gas in LA? That's crazy. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
The court system in this
I mean, seriously.
Why y'all getting caught for real?
Oh, no. What are they doing now?
Yeah, keep them in there. Let the police get there, keep them in there. That's how it goes. You know, when you come into certain parts of the country, coming down south or whatever, you can't just do whatever you want to do, man. You know, a lot of these liberal cities just let stuff happen, but you can't do that everywhere. Now we have a makeshift house out of a bus stop in UK. RIP to the headphone users. Yeah, are they still sniffing petrol? Really? Are they sniffing gas? Are they huffing gas in LA? Is that the new thing? And I know they smoke crack out there, but good grief, maybe times are rough. Maybe they can't afford them Oxycontins or whatever, so they gotta just resort to huffing gas. I mean, what in the world? I feel like you could just siphon some gas from somebody's car to do that if you're really a dope fiend. If you're really on that dope fiend life, just siphon some gas from somebody's car. Man, they break into cars anyway. Why not just take a little tube and get your gas that way? Anyway. Yeah, try that in a small town. Exactly, Relentless. So somebody made this into a house. You can see we got like a little bed in here. And somebody's in there. I didn't even see that. Okay. They kind of blend in with the sheets because they're white. I didn't even see. You see the knees and whatnot right there? Somebody's in the actual thing. So she in there sleep, chilling. Okay. No roof. A sunroof on her house. We got a little window. We got some stuff blocking the view. Little tarp action. Some duct tape. Some wrapping paper. Super Mario Brothers. Like, did you steal that display? What is going on? You got a not a Wii. You got a Switch, a Nintendo Switch, and Mario Brothers graphic on some wrapping paper. Yeah, Sonic. Like, what is going on here? We got some pictures. What does that say? Living poster. I don't know what that is. We got a little chest of drawers, little living room furniture in here. We got like some a plate of food, all of that. Now I thought the houses on the side of the road in LA were crazy, but this right here, a bus stop made into a house. Okay, that's crazy. And she's in there chilling, sleeping, middle of the daytime. Is that UK? Is that what we've come to, UK? What is going on? Now here is Los Angeles again, Hollywood, California. That was a woman in there. Actually, somebody said, is it a divorced man? Nah, it was a woman in there. And again, that makeshift bus stop was in UK. I'm not sure if it was London or what, but it was UK. So they got like a little walkway through this whole piece of filth. Like on the back of this is like a little walkway, kind of, sort of. This big sidewalk is just filled with filth. I mean, just all kind of stuff. Tents and tables and open drug paraphernalia. Look, you see that table right there? I'm sure there's all types of drugs right there on that table. Just out in the open. The person right here looks like they're high as gas.
Book smart with a boss, but I never learned that.
I mean, how do you live like that? Okay, hold on. Somebody says, Map 55, that's in the bad neighborhood. Show the good neighborhood. People be surprised in the good neighborhood. Well, what was that? Is that for UK or is that for Los Angeles? Even in the bad neighborhoods, listen, even in the bad neighborhoods around where I live, I don't see stuff like that. The closest thing is like maybe downtown Atlanta, but it's still not that bad. It's still not that bad. Now, you know what? To everybody out there that wants to be a thief, you want to be some heist, some what they call them in Toronto, a roadman. What you don't want to do is stuff like this. And to the person who says, get the phone call started, I'll get the call started when I want to. hold your horses or carry your hind part somewhere else. But what you don't want to do is what this guy does.
Il a failli se niquer, mais je crois qu'il va se niquer parce qu'il...
My man trying to climb over the fence and got himself stuck on top of the fence. Like, you know, like little spike stop of the fence. His clothes got stuck and he can't get off. Roadman. And then what they say in Toronto, roadman, that's like the thugs, the criminals. They call them roadmen, like your vehicle driving on the road. Now, he struggles like this for a while, and then you can see at the end here, his pants pretty much come off. So we ain't going to show the rest of that because we're a family show. But he was dangling like Spider-Man at the very end with the pants pretty much around his ankles. So kids, I would just say this. Stay in school and don't do things like that, man, because it's not going to work out very well for you. It's not going to work out well, man. You're going to get... I imagine getting arrested and you hanging by your underoos on a fence because you wanted to be Mr. Bad Guy. Don't do that. All right, let's keep on moving here. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all the good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Oh, this was crazy. Hold on. I might need to do a video on this. Hold on. This was nuts. Now, a crossing guard got charged for distributing like e-cigarettes and things of this nature to kids. Now, wait till you see what this crossing guard looked like. Okay, just imagine what you have as a picture of a crossing guard. If you ever see them in your city, your neighborhood, what do crossing guards look like, okay? All right. Now we're going to look at what this person looks like. That right there, my friends, is the crossing guard. Yes, this person right here.
There last night as police led 26-year-old Kiara Lee to a waiting van, her feet shackled. She faces a list of charges, including possession of drugs and corruption of minors.
Wait for the mugshot at the end. Wait for the mugshot at the end.
Investigators say she used her position as a crossing guard at an intersection near Penwoods Middle School to get close to kids and gave at least one child edible marijuana.
She's supposed to be, as you said, a crossing guard protecting children. Instead, she's using that position to get to know children and then sharing harmful products.
The Delaware County District Attorney says they are looking to see if more kids got drugs from Lee. In the See if more kids got drugs from Lee. In the affidavit obtained by actioners were there last night as police led.
So this person was charged with giving kids drugs like edibles and vapes and things of this nature. A 26-year-old crossing guard. Now, I don't know what's happening. Is this person considered to be a dwarf, a midget? Is it a transformer? What's going on with this mugshot, though? It's just a whole lot happening, man. Listen to me now. Please, kids, everybody, stay off the drugs because this right here is a mess. You're corrupting the kids and you look like just, I don't know, man. You look like you've been through everything in the world. What? Yeah, don't drink or smoke crack while you're pregnant. Is that a man? I can't tell. I mean, I don't know what's going on here. I don't know what's this might be a for real gender non-binary in real life. If gender non-binary was a person right there. And the only reason why I'm joking this person is because they did get locked up for doing stuff they shouldn't be doing, okay? If you don't want to get this kind of attention, then don't be out there trying to corrupt kids. Leave the kids alone. And somebody said, bro, what the H? I'm asking the same question. I am asking the same question. Don't ask me. I don't know what's going on. Your guess is good as mine. But yeah, boy, oh boy. I mean, that's crazy. That's totally crazy. But yeah, if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. All right. And do I have more? I think I might have one more here. And let me go and get to the calls. The number to call, 434, you know the rest. 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. Oh, I got a funny one for you guys. The instant karma. And then we're going to keep on moving here. All right, hold on. Instant karma. So a guy tries to shoplift for some reason. Let's see what he's shoplifting. Some beer or something. Looks like a big case of beer. Okay. Just walking out of the store. Okay, I ain't going to pay. I'm running away. And then he goes out into the street and to an awaiting truck to make the getaway. And then as he pulls off, there go the lights just that quick. Boom, easy. So you think you got everything planned out. You get the getaway truck right there. You're trying to steal. Little do you know the police are right there waiting to catch you. So yeah, caught him red-handed. Let's not do that. Don't steal. Don't do the wrong thing. Don't be on the wrong side of the law. All right. We got super chats on deck. I'm going to get to those. And if you like what you hear, you know what the deal is. The number to call, 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. We got super chats on deck. And then we're going to get to some calls. Thank you to Apu, who says, Chicago, wife and husband attacked with pepper spray by a mob of youth who kick in her stomach. Woman loses her baby. Where's BLM? Where are the Democrats? Good question. Also, federal rally supporting rainbow FBI shirts, sporting rainbow FBI shirts while openly carrying their service firearms, marching in Pride Parade. Thought FBI are neutral. If you oppose LGBTQ, FBI gonna arrest you. Democrats politicize justice. Now, I did see that actually. Let me see if I can pull it up right quick. Let me see now. I did have that clip queued up. Yeah, here we go. So the federales marching in the West Hollywood Pride Parade. And I think we see somebody. Yeah, Adam Schiff. So we got Shifty Schiff in the Pride Parade. And then we have the federales. All right. So first, Adam Schiff. Okay, looking real zesty, as usual. Hey, guys, waving in the Pride Parade. That's Adam Schiff right there. All right, wearing an LGBTQ Element P Dodgers jersey. Okay, with the colors and all that good stuff on it. All right, so that's one thing. And then here we are with the federales marching in the Pride Parade with the service firearm and everything. And RP to the headphone user. Sorry for the loud noise. But you see the guys right there wearing the FBI, like fully FBI shirts and the firearms and whatnot, waving the gay flag. Wait a minute. So yeah, there you go. You know what's funny about these Pride Fests is that they're overwhelmingly male, young males, or like kind of like males that are in their 20s and 30s, maybe some early 40s. That's the same monkeypox group that was given the vax in New York, but this is a different story, and I digress. Remember, like monkeypox, that was crazy. That really exposed the LGBT community. That exposed them. The monkeypox vaccine was only for gay males who are in their 30s for the most part. And they said, okay, if you want to get the vax, you must have had an average of 10 intimate partners in the past 2 months or something like that. Some crazy big number. And with those requirements, the line was down the block to get the vax in New York. And it was all males, mostly white males, but all males, some black, Mexican, whatever, Hispanic, all males in the 30s. So we kind of understand what's going on with these movements. We already know what it is. We know what it's about. It ain't just about, oh, we just love who we love. Oh, okay, whatever. It's about some, you're trying to get your freak on. But anyway, I digress. Shout out to Apple again, who says, played sports. If other team took cheap shots at teammate, I immediately retaliated or defended my boy. Why Indiana Fever don't stand up for Caitlin Clark? I don't know. That's a good question. Some said it's because of race, but she has 4 other white teammates. So I don't know why. That's a good question. Maybe there's no enforcers on the team. I don't know. Maybe they're also jealous. It's a good question. Apple also says, anybody know Ray Epps' status? Was Epstein self-deleted? I don't know. Thank you to my main man, HVM, who says ABL with a salute. Shout out to you, man. I appreciate you. Thank you to Apple again, who says favorite 80s hair band, Motley Crue, Rat, Poison. I don't really know. That's a good question. I wasn't really a hair band guy. But that's a good question for the rest of you guys. Who's your favorite 80s hair band, if you have one, in the chat? Also, he asked me, you going to celebrate Juneteenth with your family? Well, we've not really done that since my dad and them had passed. So that was a thing that we always did because it was my dad and my uncle's birthday. Literally. Not my dad's brother, but my dad's uncle, so my great uncle. Their birthday was June 19th. They had the same birthday. So we would always celebrate their birthday and Father's Day and Juneteenth and like a small family gathering around all of that. I come out there, my other uncle will come out there, my dad's brother, some of my great uncles, kids, like my dad's first cousins. It'd be about 20, 30 of us at the height of it, but we've not done that since my uncle died and my dad died in the same year. So, yeah. Also, shout out to Apple again, who says, RIP David Dorn, June 2nd, 2020. Your video on Captain David Dorn, ABL, was the first video of yours that I watched. It was incredibly moving. RIP victims of BLM. Right on. RIP David Dorn. Thank you to, I'm not going to read your name, but Ike Cup, put it to you that way, who says, appreciate all of you from Europe. Shout out to you, boss. Thank you to Apple again, who says, David Dorn, Natalia Marie Kelly, Horace Lorenzo Anderson Jr., Sequoia Turner, Victoria Rose Smith, Cannon Hennett, David Underwood, Burnell Trammell, BLM victims. Thank you to Apple again, who says, Tamaris Bohannon, Harold Peterson, Chris Beatty, Jose Gutierrez, Jessica Walker. Will BLM ever be held to account for their riotous murders? Will Antifa? Also, favorite summertime fruit, ABL, cherries, apricots, watermelon, all day long. Watermelon. And second would be like cantaloupe, any kind of hydrating fruit like that. But definitely watermelon, 100%. Thank you to Lothair again, who says, I would say there's no proof that Trump is a racist or homophobe. He's clearly neither. People who scream the loudest are the guiltiest, 100%. Also, shout out to Apple again, who says, NHL final Edmonton Oilers versus Florida Panthers. I have no idea about NHL. I don't follow the sport. Also, who you got, ABL? I don't know. I don't watch NHL, so pardon my ignorance. Thank you to Jersey Linda, who says, Trump is a fino, felony in name only, 100. Right on. Shout out to Apple, who says, just remember Judge Joe Brown's story about Trump. Thank you to Sean Robertson for your super chat. Definitely appreciate you, boss. Thank you to Eddie B, who says, ABL, you're right about black on black crime. It's not just about proximity. It's about a disrespect for human life in black communities. Why isn't Jeffries talking about that? Democratic socialists are ridiculous. Right on point. Thank you to Jersey Linda, who says, ABL, how many times have I been called Uncle Tom because I'm educated? I've not been called that ever in person. I used to get called that sometimes online, but it's rare now. It's rare because what many of us, including myself, were able to do was to make being a black conservative more common, at least in the internet space. So we don't really get called that too much anymore. Although it still happens, but not as much as it was like 2015, 16, 17. Back then it was like every day, but now it's uncommon. It's like somebody that has been kind of living under a rock for the past few years. You know what I mean? People that still use slang from the 1980s will call you that. Shout out to Jenny Jones, who says, what is happening in Florida? I'm seeing so many Florida license plates here. It's crazy. I thought Florida was paradise. Well, are you in Texas? I mean, people at a certain point can afford it, depending upon where they were living, because everybody's going to Florida. So if you're living in Florida and you just have like a regular career, regular job, you get rising insurance costs, rising cost of living, rising rent. So it's becoming not affordable. So what they do, they would go to maybe a Texas, Tennessee, one of the Carolinas, or another part of Florida because it's just too expensive because of everybody moving to Florida. It's not the fault of Ron DeSantis. It's just supply and demand. If the whole world wants to go to Florida, supply and demand will make the housing increase as a result, unfortunately. Shout out to Secretary Not Sure, who says no license because he doesn't know where the DMV is according to the Democrats. he knew how to get a state ID every year. He knew how to do that. And he got one when he was 19 years old, but he didn't have no license. Thank you, Slenderella Charming, for your donation. I definitely appreciate you with the dancing emoji. I appreciate you for that, Slenderella Charming. Thank you to Tony Hay Munkets, who gave me or gifted the chat ABL membership. Thank you to Boomerang 911, who says, tomorrow, June 6, 2024, is 80th anniversary of D-Day. People, please stop for a moment and send prayers of thanks. We are a free nation because of these guys and gals. Right on. Thank you to Lothair, who says, have you ever tried CBD gummies? I personally don't know why weed and shrooms are illegal. I understand having other drugs like heroin illegal. I've never done that, so I don't know too much about it. If you like it, I love it. I'm just not really a big fan of all that. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff that'll help me out tremendously. Let's get to the calls. The number to call, 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. Let's go ahead and get into it. Yeah, for me, weed is like, it kind of slows me. I don't really like that feeling. I'm always, you see the way I talk, I'm like 100 miles an hour. I can't get slowed down. I don't like getting slowed down. It makes me nervous. And I'm already nervous anyway because I'm just so quick with my mind. I can't really get slowed down like that. I don't got time. But it's just everything ain't for everybody. All right. Let's go ahead and go here. Y'all give me a second, please. And all right, let's go 651. You don't know who I'm speaking to.
Hi, is this McDonald's?
All righty, what's going on?
Sorry. I hope you have a good day.
All right, I don't know what that was, but shout out to you. The giggling, giggling troll, or just got nervous. I don't know what happened. 248, you're on line. Who am I speaking to?
Hi, ABL. This is Lisa from Michigan. How are you?
Oh, well, how about yourself?
Pretty good. I watched your show last week. I just wanted to let you know. And I tried to call in. You need to encourage more women to call in. Anyways, I just wanted to say I really enjoyed your show tonight. And you touched on a lot of topics that I think we're really that we need to discuss. I wanted to point out one thing about how people can support Trump more by voting, not just voting, but donating. Even $5 would help, and volunteering at your local Republican headquarters. And all you have to do is Google Republican headquarters near me. And they also will help with if you want to know about anyone to vote for. They won't tell you to vote for, but they'll just give you suggestions, which can really help, especially with judges and city council and school boards. I think that's important to vote all the way down red, even to the local level. I just wanted to say, you touched a little bit on Mar-a-Lago last week, the raid, and did you know that the Biden administration authorized lethal force if needed? Did you hear about that?
I did not hear about that.
Yeah, they actually did. The DOJ authorized lethal force to be used if necessary, even against the Secret Service, which I thought, I had never heard of that before. And this was on Fox News, so I know it's a reputable source. They actually discussed it. They touched on it. And I just wanted to know what your thoughts are on that.
Yeah, it's really a crazy thing. And I don't see how they really didn't get too much more attention.
Yeah, I agree with you. I just wanted to also say, have you ever YouTubed the Gumballs and Refugees? Have you ever heard of that before?
I have.
What is your thoughts on that? Because I really think it's eye-opening to see how mass immigration doesn't even really help the world. What are your thoughts on that, too? I'd like to hear it.
Well, I mean, I think it just depends on the situation, because that video I saw a while ago was quite a few years ago. But
yeah.
I think the issue with the immigration in the world is that these countries need people because of the failing birth rate, and also because they want to exploit the labor. That's ultimately what it is. Yeah. And that's kind of what's happening with us, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. I just wanted to say thanks for bringing up the facts on black crime, and also bringing up how millions of black babies are aborted every year. It's very sad. But I'd like to touch on the fact that I do think the nuclear family is very important for the black community, and I think there would be less black on black crime if fathers were in the family unit, for them to have role models to look up to. And that saying fathers' lives matter is really important, I think.
Absolutely correct.
So I just wanted to say that.
Right on.
Well, keep rocking on. We enjoy listening to you.
Well, thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Great call. And I'm going to add one more thing about the whole, fathers in the household. The issue is that there's no structure. There's no guidance. We're just kind of out here just doing whatever. When your mom is the head of the household, you do whatever you want. When you a boy in a single parent led household, you do whatever you want. You get to be 12, 13 years old, you in the street, you doing whatever. She can't control anything at all at that point. And that's when you get into the nonsense. That's when the gangbang and the whatnot starts. That's how it works. If a father's in there, he's able to kind of control things. With the mom, she can't do anything. She's completely helpless. All right, let's keep going here. Let's go to 859. You don't know how much speaker to.
Hey, ABL, how's it going? What's up with you?
It's all good, man. What's
happening? Hey, I did a super chat earlier on the last show, and I do apologize to it's your channel. I should have reached out to the officer friend instead of just doing the super chat like that. I just like hearing his wisdom, and he's always a fantastic caller. And big shout out to him, man.
Okay.
And I basically like his I like his perspective on things.
Okay.
And I will say, man, I did a super chat with the talking about shrooms and marijuana. I think there's a lot of healthy benefits with marijuana and shrooms for mental health. And also, I will say, when I first called up, I was out of shape. When I first called your show, I was really out of shape. I was 290, eating junk food all the time, doing God knows what of alcohol. And I was really bad with alcohol. And I took your advice on the 1 meal a day. So I started doing that. And I started eating more healthier. I did more research. I like lifestyle channels like that, and I got into it. And I think your Uncle ABL show, some of your advice is fantastic. I really appreciate it.
Well, thank you, man. I appreciate you. So where you at right now? What's your current weight?
I weighed myself. It was a 207. I haven't been to the gym for about a week because I re-injured my calf again, and it's hard to walk on it. But I'm going to the doctor next week for it. So
hold on, you said 207.
Yeah, 207. Yeah.
Very good. So you say you were almost 290. Now you're at 207. So that's about 80 something pounds, right?
Oh yeah. And I stayed off of water. I did more research on food. I eat mostly protein stuff, and I stick to it. And I started controlling my how much I eat by doing the 1 meal a day.
Well, I'm proud, man. I'm proud of you. So keep on with the healthy lifestyle, man. It's all about just a lifestyle, just constantly living it, man. So I'm definitely proud of you, man.
Hey, I really appreciate it. I call in all the time. Sometimes I don't necessarily agree with you on everything, but I like to express my opinions on things and stuff like that. And there's some things that, I've, watched your channel that I was like, you're very informed of what you talked about. Even if I do or disagree with you on stuff, you're not BSing a lot of people around. And I think a lot of like these other conservative commentators, they do a lot of BSing, like, Ben Shapiro and the Daily Storm. And like, even I think sometimes Alex Jones sometimes is full of BS. Sometimes you're, homegrown. And that's what I like about you. You do your research. You're honest about it.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. It means a lot to me.
Hey, keep up the good work, man. And you know what? I will say, there's some things I don't like about Trump, but man, if the liberal media and the liberal society wants to treat him like the devil, a most wicked man once said, society views what is the worst of the worst as the devil. If they want to view him as the devil, then I must really like Donald Trump and I really must love the devil. And I'll talk to you guys later. Out.
Thanks for the call. Appreciate it.
You too. Bye.
All right. So, yeah, shout out to my main man. So that's definitely a success story. So you said he was close to like 290, and then he followed my advice about how to eat and whatnot. Now he's down to like 207. So that is most certainly a success story, man. Keep up the lifestyle. It's all about our lifestyle. It's not about our diet, nothing like that. It's just about how you live every day, man. So shout out to you. And I'm glad we can have people that call in and disagree sometimes, but always just being able to appreciate the show. 704 to line. Who am I speaking to? 704. Hello.
Hello. What's up, ABL?
Hey, not too much. Hey, do me a favor. Turn our stream down in the background for me, please.
Oh yeah, I can. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. Hey man, what's up, man? I've been following you for years, man.
Well, I'm glad you have. Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
No problem, man. Yeah, I watch you. I'd also like to promote Paul. Everyone check out Paul Joseph Watson. He's a British YouTuber, and Mark Dice. I've seen you mention Mark Dice before, and I just wanted to say shout out to all the veterans that died in World War II, all the straight white males and black males that passed away in the war. And I couldn't imagine. I'm a veteran myself. I couldn't imagine if a big war that broke out now with all the immigration. Never mind the ones that might be dangerous and don't want to assimilate or whatever. How many do you think would go back across the border, man?
Well, hey, that's a good question.
That'd be wild, wouldn't it?
Absolutely.
Anyway, that's it, man. That's all I wanted to say, man. Thanks for taking my call, man.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Yep.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Great call. Shout out to everybody that's been watching and supporting for a long time. I really appreciate y'all. I really do. And thank you to everybody that's been supporting the new channel. And since my man Lothair called in talking about the food, I know I got to do some nutrition videos on the new channel. Yeah, I'm definitely going to do that. Just what I had today. What I had today, I had some roasted carrots. Well, I guess you would say baked carrots. I put some carrots in the oven. I had some baked chicken, broccoli, jasmine rice. Yep. And I keep a nice healthy weight. I get my sleep. I just got a good lifestyle. Keep myself in shape. Let's go to 310. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
What's up? It's Drew from California. Just wanted to say thank you for everything tonight. Give everybody a boost of confidence. Thinking the same way. And the last thing I wanted to say was everybody hit the like button, man. Why am I only seeing that many likes and that many viewers? Everybody go hit the like button for Anthony. All right, Anthony, you have a good night. Appreciate you. You have a good show.
Thank you for the call, man. Appreciate it. All right, great call, my man. You heard him. Hit the like button for me. Hit that like button and look out for me. That'd be fantastic. Let's keep on moving here. We got a lot more calls. Let's go to 843 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
ABL. It's Rocco from South Carolina.
All righty, man. What's going on?
How you doing? Are you hearing me okay? I'm not blasting your ears, am I?
I hear you well.
Okay, good. First, shout out to all the veterans who have died in every war. And war's not is terrible. It's the worst thing ever. But a lot of times it's necessary. It's been going on for thousands of years. But I just wanted to say, anybody gets a chance just to go to Washington, D.C. and visit some of these war memorials and see the names of these young men, very young men, especially from the Vietnam War, from the veteran war. And you read all those names, 18, 19, 18, it goes on like a telephone book thick. I mean, it rips your heart out, you know. But so shout out to your show. Also, I wanted to point out, everybody is against war, especially the younger viewers. But just to give them a little taste of how that war was, how they went through it for, you know, D-Day. Watch Saving Private Ryan. You know, that scene is like, wow, it's just, you can't even imagine anything that bad. But anyway, I want to move on. I don't know. I know like last week I talked to you about the PBD broadcast with Judge Joe Brown.
Yes.
Yeah. Did you have a chance to watch that yet?
No, I've not been able to watch it.
I understand. I know I mentioned it, but at the very end, he dropped two names, two people that I found fascinating. One of them was Kamala Harris. I don't know if a lot of your views out there what she did, but anyway, come to find out, her yearbook leaked out, and she actually went to school in Canada, 1st through 12th grade in Canada.
Uh-huh.
I thought that was hilarious. He also touched on Obama's whole background, who his real father was, and I found that fascinating as well. So, and you know how we were talking about how you need to run for president in the United States of America. The three things, right?
Yep, the three things. You got to be natural born citizen, 14 years in the USA, and 35 years old. So some of those requirements are kind of shaky with some people.
Thank you. And that's the other thing people need to realize what Trump's doing right now. I mean, truly, this man didn't have to do what he's doing now. One man is putting literally the sake of our country on his shoulders. And everybody thinks that we're going to have any help from other people around the world. No, that's not going to happen. Also, you can ask Alexa this for people that don't know this. There's only 3 nations in the entire world that can bear arms. So that's pretty, eye-opening in itself. And they're trying to take our guns away to protect ourselves, which is our Second Amendment right, by the way, by our forefathers. So anyways, I just want to say I love your show. Every night I tune in. If I miss it and I'm out, I always put it on and see what I missed. The chat's awesome. The chat's amazing. Funny guys, positive. Everybody in here for the most part is positive. And just keep up the good work, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate it. All right. Shout out to my man for the call. And thank you guys for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff that helps me out tremendously. Let's keep on going. We have 703 in the line.
Hello?
Yes.
Okay, so my name is Brandon, and I'm from Gen Z. I'm 17. I'm in high school. I just wanted to give your viewers some hope that our generation is not completely lost. I've been trying to call for a long time, but so there's some things I wanted to tell you all about. So I'm from one of the most liberal counties in the entire country, Fairfax. I know you're from Virginia, so you probably know where Fairfax is.
I know Fairfax very well.
DC.
Yeah.
I voted for Trump in the primaries. I'm 17, but I'll be 18 by the time the election comes, so I was able to vote. They put me on the news after, and mind you, they cut out the part where I said that I voted for Trump because, that doesn't fit the narrative. I'm black, I'm tall, I have dreads, look like I play basketball. They cut out that part. But anyway, I wanted to tell you about a time in 8th grade. I posted the video and I exposed the teacher. She was teaching critical race theory in class. This was during COVID, on one of my Zoom meetings, right? And she asked the question. I wanted to ask it to your viewers to just hear the insanity, the stuff they're telling the kids in class. They're doing this stuff even worse now, I'd assume. But she asked us this. So she said, and you can answer the question. She said, if you have 2 Big Macs and there's 2 hungry kids, is it fair to give both of the kids 1 Big Mac? Is that fair? Is that equal?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, now, if you give one kid a Big Mac and then you give the other kid the Big Mac, but the other kid doesn't get full, is it still fair? Is it still equal?
It's still fair because, I mean, the other person's appetite requirements are not the concern. The concern is you have a finite amount of resources to distribute, so you give them to the people equally.
Well, the teacher, she told us no. She told us, no, it's not fair. It's not equal because you have to give people what they need to be equal for it to be fair. And this is what she told us. This was the curriculum that Fairfax County put out to the entire county. This was in 8th grade. And there was similar curriculum since even as low as 6th grade. 6th grade, that's in elementary school.
That's crazy. So you're talking about like a long time of indoctrination where they're teaching you guys this stuff that's just totally wrong, like 100% wrong, but you're being taught that.
As fact, yeah, it's crazy stuff, and it's really, the schools are really, really bad. I'm ready to get out of high school, but I also want to say, especially in like guys like myself, we're trending a lot more conservative than like, I guess, like the media may have you believe, like in Gen Z is what I'm saying. For girls, it's maybe a little different, but at least for guys, like a lot of the people, remember, this is the deep blue county. And whether they like are public about it or not, a lot of the people, or like my friends or whatever, are voting for Trump or leaning more conservative. Even if they're not going to vote for Trump or don't necessarily like him, they have conservative views that aren't displayed like in the media, or like the people will tell you that Gen Z is this far left generation, but I don't think that's the case. And I think over the next couple of years we'll come to see that.
Yeah, I think so.
But I just wanted to call.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you did, man. Thank you for your call. I definitely appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so shout out to the young man, 17 years old, high school student who understands what's going on. It's crazy to think, like, think about this. It's crazy because, you know, I've not been a kid for a long time, so I don't think about time in the same way that these young people do. But he said he was in the 8th grade during COVID, and now he's in the 12th grade. Isn't that crazy? Because for me, COVID was not that long ago, but 2020, but that's 4 years. That's a whole high school career ago. That's a long time. So, yeah, like I knew that I've been doing what I'm doing for a long time. When people, I might be in certain people's chat rooms or whatever on their live streams and say, hey, ABL, I've been watching you since I was in elementary school, and now I'm in college. It's like, what? But yeah, like I started in 2015. Let's just say it was 2016 for math's sake. So somebody could have been watching me when they were like a little kid, like what, 4th or 5th grade, and now they could be at the end of their high school career going into college, because middle school, 6th, 7th, and 8th, and then high school, 9 through 12, that's 7, 8. You're talking about one more year. So yeah, they could have been watching me 5th to 6th grade, and then they could be in college by the time they see me somewhere else right now. It's crazy. But anyway, let's keep on rocking and rolling. Let's go 215 in online. Who am I speaking to? 215, hello.
Hey, how you doing?
It's all good, man. What's happening?
Hey, ABL. So basically, hey, you remember that one story? You remember that one story you did, like, it was a couple months ago? You said, okay, so it was in Philadelphia. It was in South Philly, about that 15-year-old boy that killed that white man, that journalist, right? And I believe he was an LGBTQ member.
Yeah.
And he said he had help. So did you know they did the news had did a follow-up story?
Oh, really?
Yeah, they did a follow-up story today. So basically, everything you had said, it was confirmed, but it was much worse. They did have X, Y, and Z relationships with each other, like inappropriate relationships. But also, the journalist, he had drugged the young boy at 15 years old. He had got him hooked on drugs. at 15 years old, and they were having inappropriate relationships with each other for years. And he said the boy was still addicted to drugs, and because of him. So that's how the murder ended up happening. And I guess one of the family members was out advocating for him, and it was like how the police wanted to, they just basically, it was an open shut case. They found out he was the murderer, and they just shut the case and tried to sweep it under the rug. They reopened the case, and it's like, okay, so what led up to it? So the mom, I guess she put pressure on the police to reopen the case, the detectives reopened the case and find out why he murdered the journalist, and come to find out that was why they had inappropriate relationships with him since he was 15, got him hooked on drugs. And yeah,
I knew that from the beginning. I knew it from the jump, because I'm gonna tell the chat if they don't remember. So here's the story. So a while ago, there was a case of how old was a young man? Like what, 18, 19?
He was 15
at the time of the murder. 15?
Oh, I think it was 19 or 18.
Yeah, he was like 18 or 19, and then he's black, and he killed a 30-something-year-old white journalist in his house. Now, I knew what it was from the beginning, because the guy was gay, like a LGBT activist. I already knew that there was some kind of inappropriate relationship, because the family was saying that there was an inappropriate relationship, and the white guy threatened to put out a sex tape of the young guy if he didn't do X, Y, and Z. So what happened was he didn't want to get exposed. He didn't want to get outed. He didn't want to get blackmailed like that. So he went and deleted the guy, because he probably was abusing them from a young age, because the guy who killed him was like 18, 19 at the time of the murder, but he had known him for a long time, probably since he was about 14 to 15. This is very common among gay male LGBT when they're grooming these young boys. I knew what it was from day one. I knew what it was. I've seen that before. That's common, unfortunately. Not the whole getting deleted thing, but as far as grooming 15-year-olds. That's why there was a law in California that I think Scott Wiener tried to pass, talking about, it's not really considered pedophilia if you are a 24-year-old male with a 15-year-old male. It's the same kind of thing.
Yeah. And once I seen that story while you were live streaming like 2 hours ago, the news had uploaded it, and I was watching it, and I was like, I remember you were saying that. And then I wound up hearing the story. I was like, yep, there it is. ABL was right. I said, yep, he was grooming the boy. And I didn't, it's crazy. I didn't even hear about the sex tape part, but I wouldn't be surprised at this point.
Yeah, I'm gonna be surprised. I think their family came out and said that the guy was threatening to release some footage of him. Like he was blackmailing them with some sex tape stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm not surprised, because what's one thing I've noticed? What's funny? I used to be at my old place I used to live at, right? And my old landlord, he lived on a property. He was an LGBTQ member along with his boyfriend. And long story short, them two, they just love to start drama, like get up 5, 7 in the morning, just causing chaos, arguing, fighting, starting trouble with people, all kinds of stuff. And mind you, we live in a quiet neighborhood too. So yeah, and then come to find out, these two morons were so loud. One of them, Albert, one of the other roommates told me, he basically said one of the dudes, they was arguing with each other. He said, listen, you have charges against you for messing around with children and all that stuff still pending against you. I was like, wow.
Crazy.
And these are LGBTQ members. And it's like, you know what, honestly, I'm not even surprised at this point, because it's just like Hollywood. There's a lot of child predators hide amongst that group.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, thanks for taking my call, ABL.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, you have a good one.
Same to you. I remember that video. I think I did 2 videos on that, because the first one was the murder, and then there was another situation where the murder happened. It was a deep. I did like 2 videos on it. The murder happened, and then I exposed what it was, and then there was another guy who had got arrested for having some inappropriate pictures of little boys on his phone, and this guy was a so-called transgender. And this same guy was outside of the white guy's house crying, talking about, how could somebody do this? It's like, man, you know exactly what happened because you were doing it with them because you had got caught with little boys on your phone. So yeah, if they like anybody that does that, man, I'm glad a young man did what he did to the guy and went ahead and took him and sent him straight down 6 feet deep and deeper. If you catch my drift, 6 feet deep and deeper. I'm glad he did that. Anybody that does anything like that to kids need to get put in the wood chipper. All right, let's keep on rocking here. Let's go to 561. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL. This is Jacques from Florida.
All right, man. What's going on?
Yeah, I've been watching your show tonight. Great show. I was calling about the immigration issue, and I feel like the Republican Party, the GOP, the conservatives, they're lacking a little bit in their communication, especially when it comes to the Senate bill. I was watching a segment on Fox News this morning on YouTube, and they showed Kamala Harris going to one of these night shows and talking about how the Republicans are refusing the Senate bill because Donald Trump called them and told them to refuse it because it's an election issue, blah, blah, blah. That's a false narrative that they're pushing, and it seems like it's catching on a lot of regular voters. The Republicans, it's a mass migration bill. When this question comes up, the way you answer it is to just say, hey, it's a mass migration bill. The reason why I refuse, the reason why we reject this bill, because it's a mass migration bill. It allows 5,000 people a day to come in the country. The people of America didn't ask for that. The people in Chicago, the people in New York, they're not asking for 5,000 people. They don't want 5,000 people, 2,000 people a day coming in their neighborhood. This is the reason why we reject the bill. It's a mass migration bill, and we should call it, and we should stop calling it a bipartisan bill, because in the ears of the regular voter, it sounds like it's something that the Republicans are rejecting in spite. No, it's a mass migration bill. We should repeat it. It's a mass migration bill. It's not a bipartisan bill. It's not an immigration bill. The Republican Party, we support immigration, orderly immigration. But we don't support mass migration. We don't need mass migration right now. This is how we should answer these questions. We should not be going to all these convoluted answers. No, it's a bad bill. It's a mass migration bill. It allows 5,000 people a day to come in the country, and we don't accept that. Period. That's how you answer this question. But it seems like there's a lack of coordination between the Republicans and even the influencers on YouTube or on Twitter on how to answer the questions, because the Democrats themselves, they coordinate among themselves. This is why the bill here in Florida, they call it a don't say gay bill, and it caught on. Sometimes you have to know how to call the bill in a way where you want to, let's say, direct the public opinion on that bill. It's a mass migration bill. We should call it a mass migration bill. It's not a bipartisan bill. That's all I have to say.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
No problem. All right.
Man, it's a good point. Shout out to him. Yeah, shout out. Yeah, I see what he's saying. But for me, if I was to be asked a question about it, I'll be like, look, we don't need a bill because we didn't need a bill when Trump was in office. All we need is for Biden to rescind the executive orders that he put out when he first came into office, and everything will be fine. He's trying to hold the situation hostage for his own personal benefit rather than doing what's best for the American people. That's what I would say. Skype caller, who am I speaking to?
Hey, Bill, it's Danny. How's it going, mate?
It's all good, man. What's happening?
Yeah, really good, mate. Thanks for taking my call. Great show tonight, mate.
No problem.
Yeah, I'll just be really quick. I just want to quickly talk about those ice cream robbers, if that's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. What was all that about? I mean, what would make you want to go and rob an ice cream man?
People are crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much they got from that robbery, but I don't know how. I just don't understand why these people would want to go rob someone who is trying to make an honest living like that. You know, I mean, it's not like he's walking around with thousands of dollars, right? I mean, not to be rude, like.
You can't have that much money. I mean, really, we're talking about ice cream. Like, I just don't understand.
I mean, and the thing is, you know, all these liberal politicians saying, you know, use an excuse of like they're hungry and all that, but they didn't even rob any ice cream, man.
Right, exactly.
I mean, something similar happened over here where there's a video of these two young teenagers, probably the same age as those guys, where two of them with machetes running a barber shop trying to rob them, and they weren't successful. They got kind of shooed out, and then there's someone outside recording them, and they're not even got any masks on. They're literally just laughing at the camera and, you know, running off, thinking it's funny. And these are the kind of individuals that we have, you know, obviously in your country, my country, where they're just young teenagers, young kids, you know, probably ain't got no fathers. Because I'm telling you now, like, if I did something like that, when my dad was around, it wouldn't have been good, because, you know, I did do something quite stupid when I was young, and I was hanging around with some bad people. I sort of did like a home sort of burglary, which I know it wasn't good, but I was young and dumb and hang around with some bad people, and obviously I got arrested, spent a night in a cell, and my dad picked me up and he got kind of physical with me. Got physical with me. He drove me down to the person's house where it happened. He made me apologize in front of the whole family, and him and the family pretty much didn't talk to me for about a week or two. And again, this is what fathers do. You know what I mean? They put you in your place. They discipline you, and he basically scared me straight. I mean, and obviously I never done anything like that again. I stopped hanging around with those people, and that was that really. And I think this is the problem with these people, is I don't think they have fathers or anyone in their life putting them in their place, do they, ABL?
Yeah, they don't have really anybody. A lot of them, they just kind of out here doing whatever they want to do.
I mean, yeah, would your father, I mean, I'm guessing he would have probably put you in your place if he acted up like that, right?
Yeah, like that, that wasn't going to go on. That wasn't an option. Both of my parents, really, that wasn't going to go on.
Yeah, and it's like I don't know if it's just parents are just scared nowadays of their children, of actually disciplining them, because maybe they're scared of the backlash or whatever. But, you know, a lot of these boys need discipline, man. That's the number one thing that I think that they need out here right now is good old fashioned discipline, man. But yeah, ABL, thanks again for a great show, mate. Great show tonight. Shout out to everyone in chat, and thanks for taking my call. Take care, mate.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate it.
All right, see you, mate. See ya. Bye.
All right, great call. Shout out to my man for the call. Let's keep on rocking and rolling. 773, you don't line. Who am I speaking to?
ABL, it's your retired Chicago police officer friend. Thanks for taking my call. Number one, ABL, on your one meal a day diet, I must say I've tried it and I'm starving. I am starving, ABL. Where's the part of your diet that makes you deal with the starving part? Anyway, I'll get to the main point. You know, how did you like that so many record number of people have donated money to Trump after his convictions?
Oh,
I love that.
Yeah.
No, go ahead. I wanted your opinion on that.
Oh, I love it. And I think that it was kind of predictable because people realize what's going on. They know it's a kangaroo court. They know it's nonsense. They know it's BS. So they know they need to step in and really help.
And I have to apologize because I don't remember where I saw it because I watch a lot of different content and whatnot. But I saw someone talking about, already starting to, obviously a Biden supporter, but they're already starting to give excuses why Biden might drop out. Like Biden's starting to lose a little bit of his cognitive, or they're worried about his health. I mean, it seems to me that they're already starting the excuse mill to get somebody else in there who could actually maybe win.
to do that because they know that this guy might not last too much longer.
Well, here's the thing. Obviously, Trump is very popular right now and getting more popular. So what I was about to say was they're trying to figure who they can put in that can pretend to win. Because at this point, I don't think Biden can even pretend to win. And if all of a sudden they see Biden, way up in the numbers and all these votes are coming back for him, I believe that a real big red flag is going to come up, and they know it. Obviously Biden is not popular even in his own party. Even in his own party, they want to respect the guy. They want to try to give him the benefit of the doubt. Oh, he's doing good. Look how strong he is. But I think they know he's a feeble old man that can no longer play the sham of the game, whereas just look like you're in charge. He can't even look in charge anymore.
Very good point.
Anyway, ABL, I won't take up much of your time. I know you're at the end of the show. And thanks for taking my call, and I'll talk to you later.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Thanks.
All right, great call. And that will be a wrap for me. Shout out to you guys for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. If you like what you heard tonight, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. I'll be back live again, same bat time, same bat place, 8 p.m. Eastern time to right around right now, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Saturday. Same bat time, same bat place. Shout out to the mods keeping the trolls in check, keeping everybody in line, keeping the chat nice and PG-13. Shout out to everybody for watching, retweeting, listening, whatever you're doing. Super chat, and I most certainly appreciate you for that. And we got a few super chats on deck. I'll read the rest of those. Then I wrap it on up, put the bow clean on top. And of course, you're listening to an audio podcast right now. It'll be available on your favorite audio streaming platforms, whether they be Google Play, Apple iTunes, Spotify, etc. Link for that will be in the description, or just go to your favorite audio streaming platform and search ABL Live. I should pop right on up. This episode will be available for 100% free on those platforms at 8 a.m. Eastern tomorrow morning. So today's Wednesday, Thursday, 8 a.m. Check it out. It'll be there Eastern time. Also, please subscribe to Uncle ABL if you've not done so already. I got some nutrition advice coming up there pretty soon about how I eat, what I eat, how I cook it. And I am a caveman. I am not a chef. I barely know how to turn the knobs on the stove. So if I can cook food and it's healthy every day, you can too. There's no excuses. All right. So before we wrap it on up, I got some super chats I'm going to read right quick. So let's go ahead and get to it here. Think of the Bobcat NYT who says, still looking for that 1 million play plaque. YouTube needs to tighten up. Hey, they got to tighten up, man. I've not heard anything from them. So we'll see if they ever give it to me. Take it to 8675309 for the cup of joe emoji. Appreciate you for that. Think of the Lothair who says, no. I said I would drink nothing but water. I think somebody said that you said no water. So I'm glad you cleared that up. Think of the man in the face who says, great show tonight, and we need to remember the significance of tomorrow's date. Keep it up, ABL, right on. So shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all. You guys are the best audience anywhere in the world. I'll be back live again on Saturday. Same bad time, same bad place. Also, I'm here throughout the week putting out pre-recorded content. But that'll be a wrap for me. So until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out, and peace.